One set of microphones I did not fix. There we go. What is going on, people? We are live with another episode of the next podcast. I don't know what happened with OBS, but all my little audio inputs and outputs, the way you get to hear me and the rest of the panel, they all went back to default, and I had to fix them all. This was the last one I had to fix, so hopefully you guys hear us coming through loud and clear. And guys, it is
coming.
What happened?
Nothing. I thought you said, "Can they hear us coming?"
Oh wow! We're gonna start already. Yo, what is going on, chat? It is great to see you guys. Let's see. I already did it, but again, just to let you know, YouTube has a real problem doing their job. So if you can, please share this show out on social media. Whether it's Twitter, Facebook, wherever you go to talk games, let people know that we are live right now. And of course, we have a special guest. I am not going to introduce him first. For people who follow next podcast, you know we save the best for last. So let's get into the introductions, and I'm going to start.
Fuck you, Crispy.
Well, I'm going to start with my brother from Connecticut. You guys, you probably know him as a hardcore Gears fanatic, but he does play other games. We have proof on this show when he comes out with gameplay. My brother Crispy, what is up, bro?
What is going on, everybody? It is a happy Saturday night, and yeah, we got some good topics a lot of people aren't really talking about, so I'm ready to roll.
Kind of crazy. The more and more you get used to being a part of this family, brother, the more and more you will realize there are a lot of topics that we actually tackle first, and then maybe a month and a half down the line, you'll hear somebody else talk about it. The way that turns out is really cool. I will say, Crispy, you do sound a little bit low. Did you back away from your mic, or what's going on here, man?
Just trying to keep it a little down tonight,
Oh, you're hitting that THC cart, so you're a little mellow right now.
Oh, yeah.
What's the matter, Crispy?
I don't have enough.
You got any house haters, motherfucker. What the hell you talking about, boy?
Ooh, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Crispy is developing so many signature slogans and whatnot. You got Crispy Truth. You got the whole tater thing. Yo, Crispy, what's going on, man? You're blowing up right now.
I like to have fun. That's what it comes down to. Got to have a little fun, man. Like, you got to give people a good laugh once in a while. It's always good for the heart, as I like to say.
Aw, that's so nice. That's so nice. But, dude, we got to go on down the list. And I'm ready to introduce. I want to call him the business gamer, because not only does he game, but he gets into the business side of the gaming industry like nobody else that I talk to within this community. Of course, it is my brother Predator. What is going on, bro?
Yo, what's up, everybody? I hope you guys like my avatar for today.
Yeah, I looked up at it too. Oh man.
Good to be here. We got another guest coming today too, so hopefully he shows up on halfway time and get into the topic that I know y'all want to talk about. Y'all talk about all fucking weekend long. So let's get it going, man.
Did you say another guest? I know K Mega's gonna be late. I don't think we have anybody else coming.
He's not on time. He's a guest.
Oh wow, yo! I think Predator just put K Mega into the guest rotation. I can't wait to hear what he thinks about that when he pops in a little bit later, man. But as always, Pred, good to have you on. Love the icon, absolutely amazing, and yeah, I can't wait to get into it, man. With that being said, like I said, I wanted to save the best for last, and he is the creator of Gaming Beyond the Box. He puts out all these GIFs on Twitter to entertain people throughout the day, and not only that, he is also the Dikembe Mutombo of Twitter with over 30,000 blocks, man. I swear, this guy is going for a record. I am pleased to introduce Wilmy Hood. What is up, bro?
Jesus, dude. I wouldn't say all that now. I just have a very low tolerance for stupid people.
Dude, Dikembe Mutombo, man, you're just waving your finger at people. Block you.
And that comes with age, dude. I mean, you just get tired of all the BS, man. Gaming's supposed to be fun, dude. Let's keep it, fun. Let's keep it entertaining. We don't need all the drama. So
I got you, bro. I got you, man. I
had to double check and make sure I wasn't blocked.
Yeah. Yo, Crispy, I would double check as well, Crispy. I'm just saying. Just saying. Yo,
we
shout
are
out
French
to
fried taters, bro. Like, that's the way it rolls.
Crispy, where's my taters? Gosh.
Yo, I want to say shout out to Xbox Pope, who is in the chat. My brother, my friend. Yo, bro, you have been absolutely tearing it up when it comes to the limited edition designs that you have been making for consoles. Bro, I do have to say, I love your original icon. All right, and I hope that you don't feel like you have to change it because of what people were talking about with that Ghost of Tsushima PS5 that you did, which was absolute fire. Dude, I still I like the doggone kind of like fish hat that you're wearing. Yo, guys, have you seen the PS5, the Ghost PS5 that Predator,
yes.
Not Predator, that Xbox Pope made?
Yeah,
I seen it.
Dude, what do you think about that?
Hey, before we get into that, dude, I have to thank him for doing that Ghost Recon one for me, because like all the friends that I have on that I play Ghost Recon with, they were like loving that shit, man. They were like, "Oh my god, this shit's fucking amazing."
But
Thanks
how
for
many
that,
of you guys actually turn those into reality? I've actually got a controller he designed for me that has never been touched.
Well, listen, brother.
It will not be played. Nobody's allowed to ever touch that controller.
If you're ever feeling generous, I would love for the very first controller he ever made to actually be in my hands. For me, he made I remember the Xbox 4481. I still have the picture on my computer. I pull it out every once in a while. Talk about just an awesome creator of something different as well. You know what I'm saying? But within kind of like the gaming community. Pope, you do a great job. Thank you so much for all the work you do, bro. It's really awesome, really impressive, and I think you inspire people to do stuff like that as well, man. But on that note, let's get into the topics for tonight, and since we're talking about creators, I think we need to talk about Mixer. Now, it's something that, of course, a lot of people have been talking about ever since Microsoft announced that they will be shutting down Mixer on July 22nd. And the thing about this is, they came
Who didn't see it coming?
They came out and made a public announcement, right, Wilmy? They came out and made a public announcement. Some people thought that was unfair to the partners, that they should have gotten some type of heads up or something like that. But Wilmy, what do you think about them shutting down Mixer? I think you tried to chime in about who didn't see it coming. Like, what are you talking about? Are you talking about kind of like the low volume of people that were actually interacting? What's going on?
If you have a streaming platform and it doesn't grow during a pandemic, it's never going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook gaming, as terrible as it is, saw growth.
It's all like 200% growth, man.
Mixer saw 2 extra people. That was it.
It was like 0.2%.
I don't even think they saw 2 people, man. The other people just logged in by accident, logged off, went to Twitch. The thing is, man, it never made any money. It wasn't sustainable. You have to have a platform that makes money. They didn't have advertising like Twitch does. They just could not keep it going. I mean, bottom line, you have to be able to make money on the platform. And they spent billions and billions. We could have had, think of the games we could have had.
Oh, damn.
We could have had something besides Super Lucky's Tale or Sea of Thieves or Bleeding Edge. We could have had a game of some type. They could have made 3 new Halo Infinites with that money.
I mean, but we would still have to wait for the years of development. And I got to say, Wilmy, I don't know how you feel about it, but I think Sea of Thieves is a special game, bro. I really
it is. It is truly special for people who just have nothing else to play.
Wow.
I'm sorry, man. And don't, before anybody calls me a bot, I play everything. I'm sitting in an Xbox gaming chair, that I custom ordered this week.
Wilmy,
but
where's mine? Is mine coming in?
talk to Mel. It's her birthday. Maybe you can talk her into buying you one.
Oh, dude, if you get her to... oh, man. Dude, I would never hear the end of that.
Tell her to buy you a chair for her birthday. But
I get hand-me-downs, man.
I don't know, man. Sea of Thieves just isn't my thing. I know there's a lot of people that play it. It's just not for me. But maybe it's because I live at the beach. The whole pirate thing kind of doesn't go over as good when you actually live on the ocean. You know, because everybody here flies a pirate flag or something on their Jeep. It just, I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I just can't do Sea of Thieves.
All right. Well, check this out, Wilmy. When it comes to Mixer, because you talked about how much money Microsoft put into this. Not only that, at least between two streamers, they spent at least $40 million getting Ninja and getting Shroud onto the platform. What do you think happened? What do you think Microsoft might have missed in terms of kind of like growing this platform out, seeing some type of growth? Was there something
they were way
done?
they were too far behind already, man. Twitch already had such a huge lead in the market. On top of that, Mixer, I mean, let's face it kind of sucked. It was clunky on its best days. I mean, it just really was. It did not work very well. And I know there were times I tried to stream, because I'm not really a streamer. I do podcasts. Gaming for me is more about me. I love to play with friends and stuff. I really don't want people watching me play games, and I really don't watch other people play games. But I mean, I have tried to stream a few different times, man, on Mixer, and I didn't have the patience for it. I could always switch over to Twitch, and it was just so much easier. It was just, there was always something going on with Mixer, at least on my end. So I didn't lose anything with Mixer. So I just think it was past due.
Yeah, I do want to say, shout out to the people who did put in a lot of hard work, a lot of streams. I know Snap, because that's really close to home. Snap, she was basically only on Mixer. Shout out to my brother Bloody from GRG. He was another person who put a lot of time into it. Of course, there is the Don, there's K Mega, and so many other people out there. I was listening to Stubbs Gaming Podcast right before this show, and Dreadpool was on, and he actually said something, because a lot of people are complaining that the partners for Mixer, they should have gotten a heads up or whatnot, but Dredd said, when it comes to the business side of things, if they gave them a heads up, then they, those partners, at least a couple of them would have leaked it out, and they wouldn't have been there controlling the narrative. So, Wilmy, what do you think about, people that are upset that they didn't give the partners like a heads up first? Do you think they should have, or do you think that it's just kind of like the nature of business that they kind of just put it out there for everybody to hear?
It's a business. I have friends, man, that have worked at factories for 20 years. I got a really good friend of mine now that works for me. He worked at the same plant for 20 years. He found out he was being laid off on the 6 o'clock news one night.
Oh, damn.
That's how corporations work. And Microsoft, no matter what, I mean, it's a corporation. A lot of companies in the real world don't give anybody a notice. And like Dredd said, it would have been leaked. It would have been all over social media. So they really couldn't do that. But I'm not sure Microsoft knew it was going to happen.
What, if you can, just explain that out real quick, because why do you say it like that?
There was a lot of things going on at Mixer that came out a couple of days before. I mean, there was a whole lot of stuff, came out.
Like improvements and stuff like that, or
no? One of the people was saying, they were dealing with racism by somebody at Mixer. And I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that, Microsoft didn't sit back and go, let's get all this out of the way and let's just sell the shit and get rid of it. I'm hoping that's not the case, but it is a little fishy that all this happened within, 48 hours.
Yeah, it is because like I said, I know a bunch of Mixer streamers, and they were putting out updates. They were doing things like they were, supporting the platform, and then this just came out of nowhere. Now, Wilmy, and I'm just going to ask you for a guess on this because I know you don't know, right? But do you think that the racism accusations were kind of what put Microsoft over the top to just kind of, do away with this, kind of get rid of it, push it over to like Facebook gaming or whatnot? Do you think that was the straw that kind of broke the camel's back?
I really hope not. I'm a huge fan of Microsoft. I've been called Xbot several million times. Me and you both made that list. Remember that Xbox?
Yes, we are on the list, baby.
And I really hope not, because Xbox and Microsoft, prides themselves on being, a diverse workplace.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that's not the case, dude. I really, really do.
Yeah, man. It is really interesting. I want to get the rest of the panel in on here, so I'm gonna go with my brother Predator on this, man, because I know when it comes to this stuff, man, you like looking at this from different angles, possibly angles that other people haven't really kind of checked out yet. So, what do you think about the announcement? Microsoft kind of killing off Mixer July 22nd, and what do you think about people talking about how the partners, should have got some type of heads up before time? Do you agree with that as well?
All right, let me tackle that second part first. All right, so in my job, if you guys don't know, I am a government employee, right? And we literally got notices today, and we have 30 days. Microsoft gave those streamers the same exact notification, 30 days. It came in the email for me. I'm pretty sure those streamers got an email at some point in time that were partners. They probably got an email at some point in time as well. But legally, I think they have to give them 30 days notice. And
well, 30 days would be from the public announcement if you think about it. If they're shutting it down.
That would be the 22nd, right?
Yeah.
When did this announcement go out?
Let's say 22nd. I think it was more like the 25th, 24th.
Or something like that.
Maybe they're going to stay up until the 24th then. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but that's 30 days is plenty of time. Like, some jobs only give you a 2 weeks fucking notice. So let's kill that narrative now. Like, you didn't get notified. You got 30 days. If you want to count 28, so be it. You did. You got 28 days. But they let you know. So it's you don't like the way they announced it because they did it over social media. I can give you that one, but you have plenty of notice. Again, most employees only give a 2 weeks notice when they quit, and most companies only give you 2 weeks before they fire you if they know they're going to let you go, and including my job as a government employee. Our notices came out today. So yeah, you have 30 days. That's plenty of time. So we'll kill that narrative with that one right there. Another thing some people are not taking into account is that, we have a situation going on right now where a lot of businesses are closing. They're trying to save costs. So I think this was in the works before anyway, but with everything happening with the pandemic going on right now, business-wise, it made no sense to continue with Mixer.
You mean the plandemic is what you mean. But okay, go ahead.
Pandemic, whatever. What's going on right now in the country and across the world, like companies are closing left and right. They're being told they can't have people come in, they can't work, they can't do this, they can't do that. And so people have to figure out ways to trim cost. So with Mixer only gaining 2% of whatever the fuck it was over the last X amount of time and not actually gaining ground with on anything, basically, it's a liability. They have to trim the fat at some point in time to pay other employees and or to do other things with that money. And that goes for their Microsoft stores that close as well. That's all.
Dude, I'm upset about that, man. I loved going to the Microsoft store. Yeah.
Like I got one here and I've only been there twice, and it's like across in Dallas. I'm at Fort Worth. That's a 45-minute drive to an hour drive for me. I'm not gonna go there for look at Surface tablets and video games I can buy online. But you know what? It was a store. They had it there. It was a brick and mortar place. But guess what else? There's a lot of other brick and mortar places closing down too. So you can't just say it's just Microsoft. You can't just point a finger and be like only Microsoft is doing this. There's a lot of companies doing that shit nowadays. So,
Chuck E. Cheese filed for bankruptcy. What?
Yeah, JCPenney filed for bankruptcy.
That was another one.
Yeah, there's a million companies right now that are filing for bankruptcy. Not just including the big companies. There's smaller businesses that are closing down right now too. So they're going to trim the fat the way they can. And you have a brick and mortar store that's selling the same stuff that you can buy on Amazon. You can buy on eBay. You can buy at Best Buy. Like, why do they need to be open? We're all digital. Most of us anyway are starting to go that direction anyway. And if you're not all digital, guess what? You can buy all that shit online from other places. So why have that store open across the country when you can save money and cost that way? Same thing with Mixer. They're paying you to produce content, but their numbers aren't showing that a lot of people are watching Mixer. The only time I ever tuned into Mixer was if like maybe K Mega was on there, Mike Ibarra was on there, or where they're doing an Inside Xbox so I get free shit. Only time I really went to Mixer. So like,
Wow.
and that's just me. So I mean, there's other people out there who never use Mixer whatsoever at all. So like, you know, when you see the numbers that YouTube is doing, that you know, other places are doing, Twitch and Facebook Gaming are doing, and Mixer's not doing that, it's a liability. So why they continue to pay people to stream when they're not getting any profit off of it? And you said this last night, and I said this before you even said it. When they picked up Mixer, I thought they picked it up for the God, what's the word I'm looking for? For the
low latency technology.
That latency technology, yeah.
Brother, you just read my mind. That was going to be my next question. Like when you stopped for breath, I was going to be like, so do you think about?
Yeah,
like,
I said that when they bought them, though. I said they bought it for the tech. What have I always said to you guys? When you're trying to kill something, and you're trying to get something, you kill it from the inside. You buy the parts of it that you want. They
spent over $40 million on 2 streamers. Like you think that
you know what though? But that just shows you they tried. They tried. It wasn't like they didn't. They just bought it and just fucking threw it to the trash can. They bought Beam to utilize, and it wasn't going to be successful for them, and they decided to cut their losses. They bought they bought fucking Ninja, and what's the other guy's name? Shroud, and a couple other smaller guys too to kind of help boost it, because like, it's not like they didn't want it to be successful. It just wasn't. And if you can't get people to get on your platform after buying those 2 people, and you're still not seeing a profit, then there's a problem. It's not them. People follow those guys because of the platform they're on.
Dude, I just think Microsoft didn't advertise Mixer the way
and
that they
right,
should.
They didn't, because they be honest with you, like I never saw, unless it was like a streamer that I knew, like you guys, like Mel or K Mega. And the thing, K Mega only went to Mixer because he couldn't get on YouTube at the time, because he would have stayed on YouTube.
And he liked it better though.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, there weren't enough people going there, and the only time I ever saw something about Mixer was, again, someone I knew, like K Mega or Mel, or they were doing Inside Xbox. I even followed. I didn't follow Shroud, I don't think, but I know I followed Mixer, not Mixer, but Ninja, and I really never saw any advertisements for him that he was streaming something.
Except on your Xbox. Like, you would have Mixer marketing. Like, it was more like a grassroots.
Let me tell you something. If I'm turning on my
devices.
Xbox, this is just me. If I'm turning on my Xbox, it's
You're
to play
playing a
games.
game.
It's not to watch Mixer.
Yeah.
I can watch that from my laptop or my phone. But like, if they're only advertising when you turn on your Xbox, that's a fail. They're not advertising on Twitter. They're not advertising on anything else. Like other than the announcement of them getting Ninja, I don't remember seeing shit about him streaming anything ever, unless I turned on my Xbox. Ever. So like, you're right, the marketing sucked. They didn't discuss it. The only time we heard about Mixer was when they were going to do it Inside Xbox. Tune in the Mixer, or they have someone doing an interview or something like that. There were so many ways they could have gone with Mixer that made it more successful than it was, and they chose not to. And for whatever reason, whether it was budget concerns, maybe they're buying other shit, and I'll get to that part in a second, but are trying to use that money elsewhere, that marketing money elsewhere, like they just chose not to market Mixer, and that's why it died. Like, they just didn't talk about it enough, other than you turn on your Xbox.
Dude, my fears when it comes to Microsoft, because this is more a Microsoft thing than an Xbox thing, but it trickles down to Xbox here. It's one of the things that I've talked about for God knows how long, is their marketing, man. Like, I don't know. I know they got somebody newer in their marketing department for Xbox, but some of the stuff that they're doing over at Microsoft, it's not making me like comfortable that they are going to go all out marketing wise.
Yeah, I'm just not reading the chat. I'll catch up with those guys in a minute. So I'll start tweeting or messaging those guys. But you're right. And my last little point on this with Mixer, and this is just me thinking outside the box here now from the business side of me. When you have a budget, and let's just for shits and giggles, let's say Microsoft had a budget of $1,000, right? Just for shits and giggles, right? And it's not Microsoft, Xbox had a budget of $1,000, right? You bought all these studios, you got all these games coming out, you got this console coming out, and you see things like, these new studios are looking for a new buyer. You know, like you see, what was it, WB? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I think there's one other that was out there recently, and you see these things, and Microsoft is like, well, shit, we only have $100 left out of this 1,000, but if we sell off Mixer, we can save $200 and buy WB for 300. Like that goes through my head when I saw that kind of stuff. Like they're getting rid of things to buy things. Like you cut the fat off of shit, save yourself some money, and give yourself a little bit more in your budget so you can buy other things. Not saying that's going to happen. Again, that's just me thinking outside the box. But like, if I'm looking at this from a bigger picture, like not only do they get rid of those companies because they weren't making money, they're going to save money by not keeping them. So what are they going to do with the extra money that they're not going to spend? They can use it on other things that are out there. So again, not saying that's going to happen, but in my thought process, like, okay, that's what I'm always thinking about. You have a budget. Now you're saving money by not spending money on all these streamers that are out there. You got to pay and all these advertisements and stuff, and keeping that Mixer alive and that money that you're going to use for that. Like, how much money are you saving, and what else can you repurpose that money for?
And when it comes down to it, at Predator, I think me and you are in the same boat. When they first bought Beam, like I said, they had that low latency streaming technology. They put that into their xCloud. They are figuring that xCloud is a big part of the future for Xbox. So they figured they got what they needed from acquiring Beam. You know what I'm saying?
And also the other thing that some people are not thinking about is they're moving, I don't want to say it this way. I don't want to say they're moving over to Facebook gaming, but Facebook gaming is taking over kind of that division. And where can they market now? What is Facebook going to market for gaming now? Xbox.
Right on my Xbox. Oh shit, man.
No, because they said that's not going to happen. Not
integrated, but they will advertise on there, yeah.
Well, look at it this way. Like if you're on Facebook, you log in, guess what you're seeing on there? Oh, go to, gaming, and it's going to have Xbox cloud on there or whatever. xCloud is going to be on there. So like it's almost free marketing for them to let that go over that direction. I don't know. From my understanding, Facebook didn't buy it out.
No, it's more like a partnership, right?
Yeah. So like, but Microsoft is not doing anything else with Mixer anymore. They're gonna wipe their hands of this shit on July 22nd and be done with it. But like now, when you go onto Facebook and you log in and you see, maybe you're playing a game on there, you might see some advertisements from some Xbox stuff on there for xCloud or stuff like that. Again, something they're not really marketing right now. So there's an upswing. They got something out of it. Even though we don't look at it that way, we're only looking at the negative. No one's ever really looking at the positive of what could happen because they decided to give Facebook.
And not for anything, but stocks of Facebook fell to the floor today too. Like
that was because of some other shit too.
No, but I know, but it's kind of ironic, man. Don't you think? Like,
I'm like, damn, you should have sold out the fucking YouTube. And
for real. Maybe we'll get some streaming integration on Xbox to YouTube. Yeah.
And that's my other question. Like, how now? Like, once Mixer's gone. Like, I don't stream. I might like jump in and co-stream with some gamers I'm playing with every now and then. But like now, if I'm going to play a game and I want to stream, how am I going to do that now without having to have all this extra equipment? Is Twitch actually working on Xbox now?
Well,
like I can log in and I can go straight to Twitch because I know PlayStation you can go stream straight to Twitch. I didn't think you can do that on Xbox.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can stream as long as you have the Twitch app. You can stream directly to Twitch through your system. It's not integrated into kind of like the base software, but with the app you can do that. All right, that was the option before they bought Beam. Like you were still able to stream to Twitch. So I don't think they changed that at all. I do want to hit up these super chats real quick before I get buried. So shout out to my brother Sir X-Man, my golfing buddy. He says I like streaming on Facebook. It actually gives me a lot of use, more than Mixer. He said would have my friends and family viewing. And new viewers watching. So shout out to you, Sir X-Man. I'm glad you're digging that. I'm glad you're getting views. You are an awesome streamer. Shout out to Jesse Darby as well, hitting up that super chat. Thank you for the support. says an Xbot I don't care if you're banned me. Jesse, I never banned you. I don't know where that came from, but it is good to see you in the chat. I never banned you. I don't know what is going on with that. And shout out to my brother Lou Cypher, also known as Lucifer. He says hashtag BLM, hashtag KMega videos #1, hashtag Xbot videos, man. Brother, you see what's going on the screen right now? I was the winner. That's my gameplay. I won that, sir. All right? Stop tearing up my gameplay, man. But, yo, let's go to Crispy on this. Crispy, I'm not sure. Yeah, you definitely streamed on Mixer before, so I want to hear kind of like your stance on this whole Mixer thing. How you feel about how they went about announcing it? Do you think they should have like gave the partners a heads up a little more in advance? What's going on with you, bro?
The partners getting a heads up, that doesn't happen in corporations. I mean, I'm already hearing rumors that my store might close, and I ain't gonna find out for real until the last minute.
Until you go to work and the doors are locked.
No, you're gonna go to work and you're gonna get a letter saying, "Okay, here's a severance package," or "Here's."
I'm gonna say you're a union member, right?
Nope.
Dude, they don't have union in your department.
Nope. No, that's very few and far between. Unions are pretty dead. That's why.
I'm sorry, I worked at Stop and Shop before, and we were completely
Stop and
unioned.
Shop. Yep. That's a rare thing nowadays, to be honest.
And unions aren't even allowed in some states. They're not even a thing in North Carolina.
So that's one thing where you got to say, like, this is why people are willing to pay the union dues and stuff, because you actually get much more rights that are negotiated, and that's negotiated with lawyers that you pay for. You know what I'm saying? You pay for it through those union dues. So I mean, people that think unions aren't important. I mean, there's a lot of like there is still a meat cutters union, and certain companies have allowed it to just be. There's not really a union, but there's still a meat cutters union, which was kind of nice. But unfortunately, like tomorrow I could walk in and they can give me a letter like, you have 30 days, which I believe Brett is right. I do believe they have to give us at least 30 days notice. But what I have to say is that Mixer, I had a love-hate relationship with it. I loved that I could just, boot it up and, just, it was quick and easy for me. The problem is that like I'd have like when I did have people actually watching, the freaking chat wouldn't work on my screen, and I can't look down at my phone as I'm playing a game. You know what I mean? So it would show up on my phone, and I'd be like, I'd be answering it 10 minutes later after I could give it a second to see what people are saying. That's my experience. So I'm not really like, I haven't touched it in a while. Like I've just gave up on it. Because when you have 0 to 1 person watching, or at least what it says, I'm just like, no, it's not worth it. Like I might as well just enjoy the game, not pay attention to any of that. As far as the way they did it, I think it's very strange. I'm pretty sure they brought Ninja in because they kind of wanted to use Mixer to showcase Halo Infinite.
And then they close it down before that even happens.
Yeah, because Ninja has said many times that he started on Halo. He really that's like that's for him. That's probably one of those games that like let's say Gears doesn't come out with a game for 10 years and then they do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's one of those things. Like he's like, I still love that franchise, and I still want it to be great. And a new game coming out and everything else, he would go right back into it for a long period of time, especially if it's really good, like we're hoping. You know what I mean? So for them to get him, I immediately saw that connection. And for you to get rid of it right before it, I think it's a trickle down, because I feel like it was almost Facebook offered a decent partnership, in the contracts and everything else. And they were just wary because they felt like maybe they could blow up when Halo came out. And then that racist talk that happened about what was going on. And then, right after that, they announced this, and then right after that, Facebook decided to buy Ready at Dawn to make VR games for them.
Yes.
So I feel like maybe in the contract that they're doing, there's something else going on with the partnership. I'm hoping for it because, you know, I'm with a lot of people. We've been promised high fidelity VR. I don't care how it's done. You know what I mean?
But fulfill that promise, brother.
Fulfill that promise.
Yes.
Fulfill it. And Facebook, you know, with the Oculus has a ton of, assets when it comes to VR. So why not use them? You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. I mean, Facebook has invested heavily into VR, over the years and stuff like that. That's interesting, man. You are going into a different realm than what I hear a lot of other people say about that subject. What do you think, Crispy, about, at the end of the day, do you think that Microsoft was after that low latency technology, and then if they can get Mixer to work on the side, that would be a plus? Do you think that they're acquiring Beam, which they changed over to Mixer, they changed the name over? Do you think that was to get that lower latency technology so they can put it into xCloud, like first and foremost, and then if Mixer succeeds on the side, that's a plus? Or do you think I might have been reaching a little too far with that one?
I think that if any good corporation is going to take the technology they want, I think that's why there's a partnership involved.
Hell yeah.
And rather than selling the actual tech, I think, partnership means that they're going to keep what they want to. This is one of those things where you have such things happening in the world, and you have to make decisions. And, at this point, I think they're making some logical decisions, and clearly they're healthy as a company and the stock is great. So I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, at this point, they're just making decisions that are logical, and they're hopefully these investments come into the gaming side of it more than anything when it comes down to it.
All right, I got you, man. And just real quick, I'm gonna start with you, Crispy. It's just a real quick question about this, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic, because if you go back, within, the beginning of 2020 into 2019, like the whole year of 2019, and some things even before that, but I'm not trying to reach too far back. We all know Twitch has a problem. All right. The problem is, at least in the gamers' eyes, the potential kind of like consumers' eyes when it comes to Twitch, like, There's a few things that they're doing over there. Like, they're giving a lot of leeway to female streamers, as opposed to like male streamers, stuff like that. With Mixer out of the picture, I saw a lot of people go to Mixer because they didn't have to deal with that. Like YouTube, there's certain like music copyrights. There's certain publishers out there like Bandai Namco that, if you're playing their game or you have their gameplay up, like they're tagging your stuff. Like, where does this leave the streaming community? And that's both the creator and the people that watch it. Where does that leave them? In terms of, now it's like YouTube, Facebook gaming, or Twitch, and we've seen Twitch kind of tighten up over music and stuff like that as well. Like, where does this leave the whole kind of like streaming community now as a whole? I was always looking at Mixer as that place where you don't really have to sweat about anything. You could put your music on, you could do this, you could do that. Nobody's really going to mess with you. Does it look like that, even though Mixer wasn't, number one, number two, or even number three in streaming platforms, doesn't it feel like that whole thing is now being more condensed, more strict now that Mixer's not there?
I mean, it's logical because, that's why I feel like people are going to Twitch, because they feel it's less strict compared to Facebook gaming. Because, I mean, a lot of the streamers that do Facebook gaming, they get away with things that are simple, but you really can't swear or anything like that. Like, you probably end up with somebody, throwing you like, hey, like I'm complaining about this person or whatever.
Mm.
And then you have the beauty of Facebook. The only thing I would say about it is that a lot of some of the older generation are finally getting into it, like even my parents. You know what I mean? So you might get more views.
Oh, dude, I'll stream on Facebook for your parents. How about that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe they'd actually be like, oh wow, this gaming thing is actually something to think about. Like, like it took some of my family members years to actually learn a touchscreen phone. So you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where like you have a lot of like people that have actually met you in person compared to like Twitter or anything else. I mean, I'm surprised that another company like large has really gotten into it. I mean, Microsoft tried, but I think they went about it a different way. And maybe that's why people adored Mixer, because they really let you do what you wanted to. And
Yeah.
At this point you're dealing with companies that are well established, and if you're not a big streamer, which I think we've just seen a streamer might be screwed, that's a big streamer.
Might be, yo. There's like investigators out there trying to find out what the hell.
We don't know what the hell happened to Mr. Disrespect over there, which I find the guy entertaining.
He might have went to Trovo, man.
Well, I mean, maybe he had no choice. You know what I mean? But in all seriousness, like this does give a few companies that are smaller maybe the opportunity to, find their niche, and maybe you're not going to get the millions.
Well, hold on real quick, because Trovo is owned by that huge Chinese company called Tencent. All right, yeah. So that it's not a little company, man. Let's. Yeah,
then so is part of Epic. There's a huge majority of Epic games.
Yeah,
owned by Tencent.
Tencent has been getting bigger and bigger the last couple of years, man. They're going at it, dude.
Didn't they just buy Riot Games too?
I believe so. I have to check up on that, but I know about their deal partnership with Epic. I think they got something going on with Bungie as well, but that's more of a like a single game or franchise situation. But yeah, they've been going crazy lately. They've been going international, man.
So here's a logical thing, okay? So if they are partnered with Epic, take Trovo, call it, Epic Streaming or something, and I guarantee you're going to have people like starting to really pay attention to it.
Oh, because, with what Epic did with their
such a large company, and if you really wanted to be dickheads, you could say Fortnite can only be streamed on Epic Streaming.
Oh,
and that would
make me so happy.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
He said if they really want to be dickheads about it, Wilmy, I'm gonna go to you with this as well, because when it comes down to it, a lot of people looked at Mixer. Well, first off, let me hit the super chat real quick, because our brother Sir X-Man is hitting up the super chat just to make our brother Crispy a little jelly. He said, I've been at the same job in a union for 21 years.
I've been at a non-union for 13 years now, so I don't know about that.
He is protected, bro. He is protected, yeah. But Wilmy, what do you think about like streaming as a whole? A lot of people looked at Mixer as kind of like that oasis where you don't really have to worry about like, getting any type of hits or anything like that against your name, against your channel. Now, when you look at it, we have Twitch who is tightening up when it comes to music and stuff like that. Plus, they're a little sketchy with their rules. If you're a male streamer as opposed to a female streamer, we've seen that already. I don't think I'm like putting light on a subject that people are trying to keep in the dark. And then Facebook gaming, a lot of people just don't look at it as a true kind of like hardcore gaming streaming platform. Where do you think this leaves the streaming community as a whole without Mixer, man?
Well, there's no choice in the music. I'm pretty sure that's a law that was just implemented about the whole music copyright
I think
thing.
that's bullshit, man.
But, well, I mean, these artists, they only make, come on, dude, they only make a few billion a year. They're hurting.
But that's not because of streamers. That's because of burning.
Oh, I know. That's
but no, another thing, because me and O Snaps were talking about this, right? And it's not like people are using the stream to kind of like pull the audio of the songs off and then bump them in their car. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want, there's ways to get the songs
but
off.
I will tell you this from somebody that's dealt with Facebook for a number of years. I would, and see if you most people have been, well, a lot of people have been to the Wilmy Hood Facebook page. I have had a page on Facebook since 2012. They make up new rules every 4 hours.
Every 4 hours.
My original page had over 40,000 fans, and I would get every post, everything that went up would go in the hundreds of thousands. Well, in 2017, I put up a meme, which if you follow me on Twitter, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I post funny shit.
Yeah, you do.
I
Dude,
had posted one.
Meth gators, we got to look out for.
I had posted one of Michael J. Fox.
Oh,
Somebody
no.
reported it as being offensive, and next thing I know, there was no. I didn't get a warning. My entire page and 7 years worth of content was taken. That was it. They unpublished it. They banned me on Facebook because one person complained over a meme.
That's crazy.
Luckily, they let me create a new page, and I waited like 2 weeks and just switched the name over and everything and just changed it right back to Wilmy Hood again. But they never seemed to catch on to that. And the page, I didn't get any issues on the page as long as I was below 10,000. When you hit above a certain number of fans and followers, they will stop showing the people your content. They want you to pay to promote your content. And they're in your face with it. They tell you. They will send you messages. If you want to reach 200,000 people or 20,000 people, put in your credit card, pay us $1,000. We'll show your content to 20,000 people.
What?
That is how Facebook works. I can show you plain and simple. And if you don't pay them, like now my page has almost 12,000 fans. If you do not pay them to promote your content, less than 10% of the people that are fans of your page will see what you're putting out. And it doesn't matter what. And to create the page, they do not do this to everybody, but I actually had to go through it because I was showing the Forking Crew last week. They were sending me emails requiring my driver's license or a passport.
What?
Oh, yeah. And then they had to send this letter to my home so I could send them a verification code because they wanted to know my home address because they were saying it was for advertisements. I don't run advertisements on my page of any type. I don't do it on YouTube either. So I had a long conversation with somebody from Facebook. He goes, well, we just need your driver's license front and back for ads. I'm like, I don't even fucking run ads. Why do you need this? Well, we may be able to work around it. But they won't even allow you to post. They won't even allow you to post to your page or do anything until you send them this info. So maybe that will change.
But
with
Microsoft. You're kind of like feeding my question to you then. Like where does that leave the streaming community then? I know Mixer was not popular, all right? But there was definitely a dedicated group there that felt like they didn't have to deal with the bullshit like you're talking about when it comes to Facebook and
at least you didn't have to send them all your legal documentation and the blood of your firstborn child either.
I was gonna say the blood type of your firstborn. Dude,
I asked the dude, I'm like, would you like a testicle? I have two. And he didn't find that nearly as funny as I thought it was. And, he was like, that's not necessary. I'm like, well, I'm wondering because you're asking, for all this information. And I was like, and this is just for a Facebook page. And I don't know, man. And everything they ask you for, they come up with this great excuse. Because he's like, well, it's about political ads. I'm like, I'm not even set to run ads. And why the fuck would I want to run political ads on my page?
And I'm not even political. So what the fuck,
exactly.
man?
And I was like, we get it. Zuckerberg's reptilian. Nobody
Yo,
cares.
for real.
But it was just, I mean, it's not a great option. I would prefer Twitch, and I'm going to try the new thing. We actually streamed the
Trovo?
podcast. Yeah, we streamed the podcast to it Wednesday night, and to YouTube and everywhere else. But I would rather use that than Facebook. I mean, Facebook, we know they data mine. They're almost as bad as Google.
Almost. Oh, they're
Yeah,
right,
almost as bad as
right
Google.
there, man.
Yeah, it's two of the biggest data miners in the world is Google and Facebook. And I'm hoping that, I mean, maybe they decided to go with Facebook to promote xCloud. Maybe. I'm hoping that will put them in more markets, because Facebook, whether you love it or you hate it, it's all over the world. They have millions of users every single day. So, I mean, time will tell, but I mean, at least Major came out the other day and said there will not be anything on your console to link over onto Facebook.
Yeah, like integrated, like streaming right to Facebook or anything like that, which is
Because
good.
if that was the case, I would probably just go straight to PC and PlayStation 5 at that point. I don't even think I would touch an Xbox if that was required.
And well, I can definitely see that with what you went through, man. Like, that's insane, dude.
Oh, Facebook, dude, I'm telling you, you would be better off to go rob a bank than to deal with Facebook. I mean, they are the nosiest, and they will send you this shit, dude, because they've done it to me like 2 or 3 times in the past 6 months. Well, we need you to verify. We want to make sure you haven't moved. Bitch, I've lived at the same house for 20 years. My mortgage is paid.
Doesn't matter where I live.
And I even asked the guy, I'm like, so if I ever decide to sell my house and move somewhere, I'm supposed to notify Facebook because I have, a page and a group on Facebook. And he goes, that's not what I'm saying. I said, well, that's basically exactly what you just said.
Yo, they don't know who they're messing with trying to mess with you like that, brother.
I mean, dude, it's the dumbest stuff, man. And I don't know if they do this to everybody, but I've got friends, that have other pages on there, and they deal with it too.
I always like how I'll look something up on the internet, and
it shows up on Facebook, right?
Asian ass porn or something like that, and then it shows up you like Asian ass
Dude,
porn?
I didn't know you were
website.
a Daniel Tosh fan. I did not know you were a Daniel Tosh fan, yeah.
And it's crazy too, man, because like he just said, you can look at anything on your phone and you open up Facebook or Instagram, and boom, what's the first thing you see? Whatever it was you were looking at. Yeah.
All right, well, check this out. I want to get Predator in on this as well, man. So, real quick, before we start getting into Halo and all that other stuff, with Mixer gone, and I'm not sure if you heard this because I saw you in the chat saying I'm back and all that good stuff, but Mixer was kind of looked at as again, that oasis where people didn't really have to deal with worrying about their music, didn't have to deal with like Twitch's double standards between the male streamer, the female streamer, or the streamer that has so many followers compared to the smaller streamers out there, because we know the rules, they don't account for everybody across the board when it comes to Twitch. Where does this leave the streaming community now, that kind of like that oasis, that place that people can go when they don't want to deal with the nonsense, but they just want to put the games out there that they're playing at that point in time? Where does this put the community when Mixer goes away, man?
There's just going to be a lot of people who don't get partnerships, to be honest with you. Like when Mixer came around, I remember people saying it's such a small community. You have an opportunity to become a bigger streamer on Mixer as a new streamer than you did on Twitch or YouTube, because those streamers are established that are on those two channels. Like Mixer was brand new. So you had a chance to be somebody on Mixer, it wasn't going to be very difficult because the fan base for Mixer and people actually watching Mixer was so much smaller than YouTube. You're buried in a sea of dicks over there, you had a better chance on Mixer of becoming a popular streamer than you did on YouTube or Twitch. And I don't watch streaming. It's just I don't watch Twitch streamers and regularly. It's not something I wake up
I gotta
and do
say,
anymore.
I like racing streamers. I like people who do the racing stuff. I I try to like I grab pointers and stuff from the really good people in racing, but other than that, like I don't go and watch like a whole bunch of
Yeah, I
gaming
can't just sit there and watch a person play a video game. Like I might like there's some people I'll tune in for like maybe 3 minutes or something like that to see what they're doing because I know who they are. But like unless it's a podcast, I'm really not on watching anybody do anything spectacular. Like I can't sit there every day and tune in at 1 p.m. Eastern and watch this guy play Last of Us for 2 hours. And then, I just can't do that. Like I'd rather just play the game myself. I'd rather have the controller in my hands and play the game and experience it myself than to sit there and watch somebody play this game to completion all day and just talk to me. Like that's just boring as shit to me. But some people get into that stuff. You're like, and I just think those younger streamers who are trying to be up and coming, like, I mean, if you think about, I mean, I don't watch streamers, but like the top 20 streamers, who's been able to break into that's brand new? They start streaming like tomorrow. Like, who's going to be that person to break into that? And it's hard. Like, I mean, it's just there's so many people out there playing the same games you're playing, and for people who utilize Mixer as I guess a source of income. I don't say anything bad about those people, but I'd rather have a 9-to-5 job than sit there and play video games all day and expect money and income from those people. Like that's like a side hustle to me. That's something I do on the side, but I will still need a real job. And if you're dependent on people to watch you stream Mixer games and video games all fucking day long and to get a huge source of income from that, I can't side with that. Like I just rather have a job. So those people are gonna have to go out there and figure something else out. Like get a job. Figure out, go to Twitch and see if you can pull it out of there. But like, I don't know, unless it was forced. Let's put it this way: unless it was a forced thing, like you got banned on Twitch or YouTube, and you went to Mixer. I don't really know anybody who just went straight to Mixer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who went that way first. Again, I don't watch streamers like that.
That was me.
Yeah, Snaps did. I know, but
I tried.
You tried, yeah, but like,
I tried.
but who went from Snaps went to Mixer first, but like, who went from Twitch or YouTube gaming straight to Mixer? Who just made that jump for no fucking reason? Besides, the first one the guys that got paid for it,
The first one in our community, and I'm going back on this, and I think Predator, you'll when I say the name, you'll be like, oh shit, yeah, She-Wolf.
Yeah, I remember
She-Wolf.
doing that.
Like she went hardcore, like right into Mixer, and like that's where she wanted to be. They even shut down the YouTube podcast because that's where she was going.
Because she got partnered. She got partnered really quick too.
Yeah.
And I understand why she did that, but a lot of people are not gonna. That's like rare, for someone to say I'm gonna stop doing Twitch, and because like people are already established. You gotta give me credit
for giving you one though, man.
Yeah, thank you for that. Like, but like she. And I forgot about her because I haven't seen her streaming forever. But but yeah, she did, and she got partnered super quick, and of course she's gonna stay there. But like a lot of people don't get that partnership because I don't think at the time she was partnered with Twitch or YouTube or whatever she was doing before. Correct. I mean, I could be wrong on that, but like if you're gonna get partnered with the company out of the three, and the first one that does it is Mixer, I'm gonna stick with Mixer because they partnered me first. I don't know what the criteria is to get partnered on the other platforms, but like I'm sure with Mixer, it was probably easier with Mixer than it was with Twitch and YouTube. So,
especially in the beginning, then.
Yeah, it was easier back then, but like I just can't see a partnered person just saying, fuck it, unless they're gonna pay them like 30 million. You know what I'm saying? Like they did Ninja, So I mean, I'd have done it for that money.
I'll take 30 million, no problem.
Yeah, but most people aren't. Most people who are on Twitch or YouTube are not going to make that jump when they're already partnered with one of the two. Now I know there's some. I guess there's some benefits of being on Mixers that you couldn't get, like you said, the music thing. Like even with Facebook Game, I think it pays out more at some point in time. So. I mean, I'm sure there's benefits of being on one versus the other, but I just don't. I don't know where these guys are gonna go. They're gonna have to start over from scratch. I guess on one of the other sites or whatever Wimmy was talking about before. Maybe that'd be a little easier to get onto.
I will say, if that one person got permanently banned from Twitch and he's on Trovo right now, that gives more like more credibility to Trovo, kind of like moving forward. He didn't
but
necessarily sign a deal and kind of quote unquote sell out or anything like that. He was being the person he was being, and for some rhyme or reason that kept breaking the rules over there. And like I even told O Snaps, because I said at one point in time, I'm like, if you really want to make something of the streaming thing, I was like, I don't know about Trovo, to be really honest with you. I didn't know how many people in this community already switched over to that platform, but if they get a name like that in there for that kind of reason and not quote unquote selling out, I think it makes it a more viable platform than without that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this goes back to my previous when we were talking about this before. Like, are people following the person, or are they sticking with the website? Like even though Ninja had a million, like gazillion followers on Twitch, when he made the jump to Mixer, a lot of people didn't follow him over.
That's
so were they a fan of him, or were they just a fan of the place
they
he
were
hosted
a fan of
at?
him, but this society has gotten so lazy that when you say, okay, I'm switching to a different platform, just download this app, they're like, no, I'm good. I got other people over here on the app that I'm used to. Let's be real.
Well, you think about that, but I think didn't Shroud have more followers on Mixer than he did?
I don't get caught up.
I don't get caught up in that either. But like, so with that other person you're talking about, I don't know if we can say his name or not, but with that other person going over to Trovo, like, you have to ask yourself that question: are those people going to follow him there, or are they going to stick with what they know? You know what I'm saying? Like,
with him and his personality, I think more people would follow him there. You know
possibly.
what I'm saying?
That's just a hypothetical question. We'll find out when it happens. But like, if like, he only gets a third of his subs over there, like a Ninja did, and they decided to follow him to that site, then you have to think it isn't really the person, it's the platform.
Yeah.
Trovo is pretty rough too right now, but it is in beta.
Yeah, it's in beta right now. It is owned by a company that, if they want to invest in it, they have more than enough money to get that thing running the way that, they would want it to. I do have to hit up these super chats real quick. Sir X-Man, my brother, I did not forget about you. And he said, I am really going to miss co-streaming from Mixer. And I think a lot of people are feeling that same way, brother. Yo, shout out to you. Sir X-Man, one more time, man. He is killing it today. He says, with more people staying at home and gaming, Microsoft should have gave Mixer a little bit more time, because from what I saw, they were actually growing. And when it comes down to it, Sir X-Man, and I think the people on the panel here will kind of agree with me, at the end of the day, business, you have to hit certain numbers. If you're growing but you're not hitting the numbers that you're kind of like estimating inside the corporation, then they're gonna cut that off. They're not getting the growth that they wanted. Shout out to Face23, Brooklyn, New York. He says The Last of Us Part 2. Where did that come from, dude? Sells over 4 million. Despite the controversy and complaints on the story, shows you we are the vocal minority. Brother, I don't know where you got that topic from what we're talking about, but thank you.
Get there.
Thank you for your opinion, man. I appreciate that.
Let me go back to Sir X-Man's comment real quick. He said Mixer was growing a little bit. You sell high. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't wait till you're like down, like, you're like.
I think Wilmy's shaking his head in agreement to what you were saying right there too. Like, yep.
You sell high. You look like, oh, we got growth. Let's sell this shit.
I'm trying to figure out why my computer screen just popped this big message up, says AirPlay passcode, and gives me 4 digits, and I wasn't even near my phone or iWatch. What the fuck?
What the hell? Yo, you were talking about Facebook, and now like they're messing.
They got you, man.
Fuck you, Zuckerberg.
You reptilian shill. Just playing, people. But guys, let's move on. And just real quick, Wilmy, since somebody brought up The Last of Us Part 2, we know you play on every platform. So have you picked up and started playing The Last of Us Part 2 yet?
Oh, dude, I've already finished it.
Okay. Well, without any spoilers, man, you think you can let the audience hear for the next podcast? Just give your kind of like quick thoughts on the game, what you liked and what you didn't like, real quick.
I love the game. I love the story. I actually started the second playthrough on it yesterday. The things in this story happen for a reason. I mean, you didn't have a choice, but everything in this game happened to progress the story. That's the catch.
I think I know exactly where you're coming from with that too, man.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody knows what happened to some certain person. Did he? Yeah, it happened in a really shitty way, but that's what fueled Ellie to go on a rage. And there's another character that gets introduced, and people are complaining, oh, they're trying to make you like her. No, what they're trying to do, and I don't know how to make this simple, but if you've ever been in the military, there are two sides to any war or any conflict.
Yes.
You may see it from one side, but
there's humanity on both sides.
Exactly. Your cause is completely different than the other person's cause, but you're a hero to the person on each cause.
Yeah,
you know,
there's a conflict between each person.
You are always the asshole in somebody's story.
Yes.
Basically. And me, it happens a lot. But the thing is, that's the whole premise behind the story. Is there parts of the game that are fluff, that are added in to make the game longer? Yes. I didn't like the fact that with Ellie, it seemed like you did not get all of her abilities until so late in the game. That's the one thing that annoyed me.
Okay.
Is some of her abilities don't come to you until right at the end of her storyline. So they really don't do you as much good.
Well, if you do another playthrough, do you get to keep those abilities, or you have to start over?
You get to keep those abilities, if you do the game plus. But the thing is, there is so much fluff in the game. About halfway through, I was sitting back going, Jesus Christ, I really don't want to go back through this again. Because to go ahead and tell you, you will go through Seattle 6 times.
What? Really?
Yes. And there are sections, it's sort of like, well, this is just like where I just was, and this and that. But I was going to see it through, and I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
I really liked the game, but I liked the first game. And I had no issues with the story. I seen where they were coming from with it. I really didn't need a backstory of the pizza delivery guy, basically. I'm not going to say who.
Yeah.
I really didn't need the life story of everybody in that game. But they gave it to you.
Huh.
So, I mean, I really did enjoy it. That's why I started playing through it again yesterday. But I'm a sucker for these type of games. It's not for everybody, but, if you're really one of those people sitting there signing a petition thinking that they're going to change the story mode because you can't deal with the fact that this is a video game and not real life, then something's wrong. But the thing is, I'm not one of those people to get emotionally attached to a video game. To me, it's a video game. I don't vest in that. I'm seeing people go, oh my God, I had to take a break halfway through because I was so drained. I cannot wait to see you in real life at this point. Because I mean, it's a game, and if that offends you, then don't play it.
Yeah, there you go.
Naughty Dog is not going to go back and spend millions of dollars to change a game because you didn't like the Pizza Boy's story. It's just not how.
Dude, you got me so intrigued by the Pizza Boy right now. I gotta tell you, brother. But I will say,
Albert, I do agree. I weren't going to say names, but Albert, I completely agree. She is a fucking beast. And I mean,
know who you're talking about.
And if you watch the game and you get to the end, I think I figured out where they're going to set up part 3.
So you think there's going to be a part 3? Because some people said this is going to be it.
I think it's definitely open to a part 3.
Okay.
And I hope so because, well, I'll be a lot older by that time. Holy shit! But I'll still play it as long as I'm not married.
Yo, Wilmy, man,
6 years older.
you're only as old as you feel. Like you got to remember that, brother. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
today's one of those days. So
Yeah, dude,
I'll be 84 tomorrow.
you got a crazy, like, people don't know. Yo, again, Wilmy, thank you for still like showing up, man. You got like a lot of busyness going on in your house right now. You got a lot of crazy things happening between today and tomorrow, and then all that good stuff, man.
My first grandchild will be born tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Congratulations, brother. Congratulations.
Yes, I'm excited and nervous because I haven't had a little one running around my house in 20 some years.
You're like, yo, I can corrupt this one, man.
Oh, dude, he is going to be so spoiled. It's not even going to be funny.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to send him back to his mother and go,
There you go.
Just tell her that
He's wound up now. Pick him.
Dude, I hear that's the greatest thing about having grandkids is you send them home to their parents. Like you fill them up with sugar and stuff like that, and then you just send them on home. Like, yeah, go ahead.
That's exactly what's going to happen. And he's already got so much stuff, man. It's not even funny.
I can only imagine, brother.
I'm going to order him an Origin PC to match mine here soon.
What?
Well, I mean, you got to start him off young, you know.
Wow.
He's a bit young for that.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he'll grow into it.
He'll upgrade it over time as well. Like,
And,
no,
actually, I could buy him one of those new Segas. You know, the little
oh, there you go.
handheld for Ant.
Yeah, it'll fit in his hands. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll fit his hands. When he's a newborn. So maybe I'll spend a few of those.
Brother, you are absolutely insane. Yo, real quick, I do gotta hit a couple super chats. Yo, shout out to my brother Sean Murray. What is up, bro? Good to see you in the chat. He says, stopping to say hi. Missed the last few. The last part also got 2 million traded in. I don't know about that. But also, Mixer was good. Just did not have enough views to keep going. Yeah, brother, I know a lot of Mixer streamers that were definitely upset. Yo, Sir X-Man, one more time. Brother, he says, Xbot, the online is working SSX sometime, my friend. Brother, just let me know. Yo, you see me on, you just send a party invite and I jump in. I'm in a party, you just jump in and we'll go from there. No problem, dude. I have no problem whooping your ass in SSX, bro. That's all I gotta say. Shout out to Humble Beast. He said, I wanted Abby to murk that heartless fudge. Oh no. I'm gonna leave the last word off of that, but damn, Humble. Feeling some type of way, brother. But guys, let's get into this this Phil Spencer interview. I think it was like Game Lab or something like that. There was a guy interviewing Phil Spencer. His latest interview had that salt and pepper afro going on. But I did like how he interviewed Phil Spencer because he just kind of cut right to the chase with his questions, and I really like that. There was some people are like, oh, it's Phil, or oh, it's Jim Ryan. Like they try to put him on a higher pedestal or whatnot. But I do like how this guy just came right in with the questions, all that good stuff. I'm gonna go with Crispy on this one. Yo, Crispy, the Phil Spencer interview, you checked it out, right?
Yeah, I watched it twice.
Dude, I actually watched it like 3 or 4 times, to be really honest with you. I did not take notes. I was planning on taking notes, but I thought it was a really interesting interview. Now, like, I want to know if you thought it was interesting, if you thought there was information to be had there. But my main question to you is, like, out of that entire interview, what was the one thing that stuck out the most to you? And we'll talk about that as well. So, you have the mic, brother. What's up?
Well, let's be honest for a second. I mean, Phil clearly has the body language of someone that, continues to learn from his team. He continues to learn from the community. I mean, he does listen to us, despite what people think. You know what I mean? He follows a
Crispy,
lot of people.
I'm a little weird that you were checking out his body language, by the way. I'm just
okay. So it wasn't just me. Okay.
Yeah. I'm feeling a little.
I mean,
Crispy checking out him.
When you see somebody sit there, and I mean, I feel like he was caught off guard by some of the questions.
He definitely was.
I mean? So, when those questions came out and he answered them so fluid and so on point, and yes, maybe he had a pause at times, but he was really he can't say too much, you know what I mean? So
Well, I can see him figuring out how to word it without like putting out information that might be in the July show and stuff like that. Like I can see him doing that a lot.
and when he had he said flat out that after the ask about how he felt about after the PlayStation 5 event, and he was very confident. He was like immediate on it.
That was that the
And he also
thing?
also said, well, he also said that we learned from the July event or the May event or whatever the hell it is, and
They learned to the point that their June show, their June show is non-existent. By the way,
I've been here this whole time, and I can't get asked
brother,
a question.
I did not see you, bro. Like I'm not looking at the hangout. Somebody has to give me a heads up. Yo, guys, K Mega is in the building. What is up, brother?
What's up, man? What's up?
Not too much, man. Did you have to set the VC?
K Mega had to cut me off. That was the point.
I did. I just was
We
waiting.
gotta say hi to our brethren, man.
All right, Crispy, you owe Predator $50 because you said you were pretty sure K Mega wouldn't make it.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
damn, he did you like that, bro.
Damn, I didn't even say that. What you talking about?
Man, you gotta pay
When
up,
you
man.
under the bus, Crispy Bomb.
And Fred needs to give me 25 to that.
Yeah.
I was rushing. Yeah,
I think that was Pred saying that and actually you saying that he ain't gonna get that TV working. He's gonna have to teach.
I think he had to program the VCR as well, so it took him a while longer.
There was no VCR, man. It was all of this hoopla came
That
down
Magnavox.
to Greenleaf and why that she couldn't get the OWN network working, and I'm like, Mama, you just anyway. So it was a big deal. So I just like, look, here's my
Explaining to the mom. I understand that, brother.
Here's my Netflix. Well, here's my wife's Netflix. Go ahead, have at it. Have your Greenleaf. But that's not the rest of the channels on. Oh, I don't give a damn about Oprah's show.
You'll be happy for now, okay?
Yeah. Just get on. Get on. All right. I got to go. I got things to do.
Yo, why you messing with Mama Mega like that, man?
Because she was tripping me up about damn Greenleaf. I'm like, okay, Greenleaf is right here. It's on Netflix. Go ahead and check it out. Then it was Have and Have Nots. And then it was some other show. But that's not the... I said, look, I'm out. I love you. I'm out.
Well,
It
is definitely good to have you on, brother. I knew you would make it. You know what I'm saying? Unlike some people on the panel. Shout out to Willie for calling that out. But we are going to go back to we're going to go back to Crispy real quick. We are talking about the Phil Spencer interview. We're kind of
okay. Did y'all get to the Halo stuff already?
Not yet. I actually waited for you on that one, man.
All right, good stuff. All right. Good stuff.
Because I can't wait to argue with you about Locke. So it's going
Facts.
down. It's going down, man. No.
All right.
All right, but Crispy is basically he's pulling kind of like the one thing that he really took from that interview, the kind of like most interesting thing in his opinion that Phil Spencer said. So, Crispy, we're back on you, man. I'm sorry for the interruption, but we're back on a roll. Let's go, man.
Oh, I'm used to interruptions. Come on now. I've been told to F off so many times. Well,
since you're used to interruptions, let me just hit the super chat real quick. Yo,
go
Face
ahead.
23 Brooklyn. Yo, thank you for the super chat. He said, I think Phil needs to let the games do the talking. Dude, we don't have too long to wait, man. I can't wait to see, what Xbox is going to show, and I can't wait to see kind of like the gaming community's reaction. But we're going back to Crispy.
Dude, Phil, I've seen a lot of Phil interviews, and this past year, I feel like his confidence is so high, and I feel like just because we saw this last event that in general, I think they had a bunch of stuff that they wanted to show all at once. And in these times and the way everything's happened, we have to realize that they said, okay, we can't go over a certain amount of time. We're going to lose people's interest. So why not showcase our own games at our own event. And don't get me wrong, we're going to be like, oh, I don't really want to hear about Grounded. I don't really. And
Yo, Grounded's
that's
pretty good, by the way.
but well, how many times I say don't sleep on Grounded? But
yeah.
you know, the point is that we're gonna have a little filler, but it's gonna be, you know, Xbox Game Studio games, or at least games that are exclusive to Xbox, even if they're second party. Because I mean, obviously, we all know that Ori is technically second party. You know what I mean? So,
Well, no, isn't it published by Microsoft Studios though?
but it's technically second party.
Oh yeah,
because it's
second party. You're
developer.
right. My
Moon
bad,
Studio is not
Crispy.
owned by Xbox. So
Yeah, no.
you know, the point is that we're gonna see some mic drop moments. I truly believe that through the grapevine, through the people that have said it, we're gonna see, I would say, at least 3 mic drop moments, and it might even be some of the Halo gameplay from what I'm hearing.
But we're talking about you're kind of going into the July event, but what did Phil Spencer say that
Well,
really?
I mean that's the point. Like his total, like, you know, his body language is that I'm ready, like, and that's
ready.
the weird thing. He's ready for this. He's ready to finally show everybody what he's been working on
love,
for years. You know what I mean? So
Come on,
if-
Dad. Oh, baby, you need to shut up now.
Wow, here we go, Mega. Here we go.
he was trying to get it out of me. I know he was. But in all seriousness, like, Phil has had interview upon interview, and he keeps the same narrative. Like, right now, I feel the hardware is completely on track. There's not going to be any problems. They're already ready to roll. You know, and this interview completely solidifies it because it's months later after the last interview. And, you know, he's still a little worried about certain games that are going to come out, but he's going to give us teases, or, you know, at least some kind of a good trailer and kind of announce the window, I would think. But I'm thinking they're going to be pushed back a little bit just because of what's been going on.
Mhm.
And, you know, this interview really solidifies that, because he was really, if you haven't watched the interview, go watch it, because he's kind of hit off guard for a second, because when somebody kind of takes a pause for a second, you know, you're kind of like, okay, he's thinking about it, because you can only say so much, you know. I mean, he's probably has NDAs that he has to sign, you know. So,
Okay.
you know, just think of it that way. But I'm really, it made me more intrigued about what's going on for July, and, you know, I hope what I've heard is true, and I hope that, you know, we see games that, you know, might be old or might need a reboot in a different light, and I also want to see brand new games, which
Dude,
I'm also
I am so happy that rumors are surfacing that the initiative is actually working on a new IP and not Perfect Dark. Like, there's a place for Perfect Dark, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to how that studio was created, how they came out and said AAA quality game, I want to see kind of like a brand new like IP from them, and I think that's pretty much where they're going with that, and I'm happy. But Crispy, I will let you know, like, because we're going back and forth here, so let me let you know kind of like one of the key points that I took from this interview. When they were talking about games coming out in the next generation, I love how Phil Spencer, when talking about like the quality of first party, says that, you know, they have the studios working on this. He said, but the thing that's important is that the first party moves forward with games that they feel represent Xbox, and not necessarily following a different company and what they're doing over there, but giving quality games that aren't mimicking another company, but coming out with their own identity as well. Because I know a lot of people, they, you know, when it comes down to it, they look at like The Last of Us Part 2, they look at God of War. I feel like there's a certain template there that Sony has with PlayStation.
Yeah, stealth-driven, third-person, story-driven games.
And the thing about that is it's not a problem to have a couple of those games on your platform, but I like how he's pointing out the fact that, you know, he's gonna have diversity there under the first party umbrella. That got me really excited, man. What do you think about that?
I mean, diversity is why I love playing on Xbox. You know, you could say that the exclusives, like they have, like, you know, other exclusives or timed exclusives that are, you know, similar in the way they play. But the thing is that I always love that I play Gears or Halo or any of the exclusives, and I feel like multiplayer is still important to them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's something that I love about Xbox. Multiplayer, no matter what it is, even if it's a third party game that goes into Game Pass, I feel like the multiplayer is more important. And I feel like a lot of games that they've had that have been successful have a multiplayer aspect to them. You know what I mean? Whether it be just, you know, Streets of Rage playing with two people or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's still, you know,
there's an aspect that creates replayability, whether it's co-op, whether it's competitive multiplayer. I think that's something that Xbox is kind of known for now when it comes to their first party.
Well, I mean, and we look at the biggest games and we say, are they, you know, single player story driven games? Not really. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. We could say, you know, all these millions have been sold on Spider-Man, on even Last of Us 2. I mean, congratulations. I mean, 4 million is impressive. You know what I mean? But the point is like, how long is that going to be a sustained revenue until either you come out with a DLC or you come out with something else? And Xbox will constantly be updating things or trying to make you want to come back to the game. Like, I find it all the time in the games I play. Like, all of a sudden there's a DLC that's coming out. I mean, in Mortal Kombat Aftermath, that really got people, you know, back into the game again. You know what I mean? And some companies know how to do it with you know, even a good DLC and, you know, adding characters or adding skins or whatever. And some games just, okay, you're gonna get a new part of the story in the DLC, and the way you end a game and everything else can, you know, have fluidity or not have fluidity in the way the game plays after, and when you try to make more money off of it. And if you spent millions of dollars, hundreds of millions, you should milk it for what it's worth. But I mean, you could say, oh, 4 million copies is great, but I mean, what are you going to get after it? I mean,
standalone DLC for $40.
Well, and let's say you have another 4 million that are sold. Are you making the same money that, you know, a company like Microsoft's doing that is getting subscription service already?
Hey, Crispy, stop worrying about Microsoft's wallets, man. That's what you'll hear.
Well,
on Twitter,
I'm just pointing out the obvious. Okay, they are already getting subscriptions from you, and let's say, you know, they go and say, okay, we're releasing a DLC for $20 rather than 40 for a certain game, whatever it may be, or we're releasing it on Game Pass, and you get it for free, and that will get more people to subscribe to it. You understand what I'm saying? So regardless of the options, there's still options, number one. But number two, those options can mean great for your wallet, or you don't care and you just want to own it. And they give you those options. And that's what I love about Xbox. They continue to do that. I feel like that interview, you know, Phil saying, like, we care about options for people. We want options to be, you know, we want the gamer to be the forefront of what we do.
Dude, I would say options and diversity. With what I said was kind of like my main point, something that really kind of made me happy. It's options and diversity. But Crispy, I do want to get the rest of the panel involved as well, and we got to break K Mega in for the night, man. Like, he hasn't had a question yet, so we got to get him in on this topic. All right, bro. K Mega, are you there? Or are you silently to yourself cursing out your mom's television? What's going on?
Oh, no. That's over with now. That was done on the drive back home.
All right. So, well, real quick, before you get in on this topic, I do got to shout out Humble Beast for hitting up that super chat. And brother, I don't know about this, dude. He says Xbox Series X ray tracing is 38 times greater than the 2080 Ti. Halo Infinite is gonna look bonkers. I don't know if you're messing with me, Humble, Dude, I didn't hear anything about 38 times greater than the 2080 Ti. Well, it's not the 3000 series, so. But no, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yo, shout out to you. Thank you for the support, brother. Really do appreciate it. K Mega, did you get a chance to check out that interview?
Yes, I did.
All right. Well, first off, I gave props to the guy running the interview because I said that like he was to the point. You know, some people they kind of sit there in awe at like the Jim Ryans or the Phil Spencers, and they try to make it like real cushy questions. I don't think this guy did that at all. I love the salt and pepper afro, by the way. I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah, you could tell he was old school guy. Probably, I think he might have been in German journalism or something because he was on point and he had the salt and pepper afro.
Had that salt and pepper, bro.
Older than me, he was older than all of us, so I dig it.
All right, so you heard Crispy and you heard what I said about kind of like one of the main points that I pulled out of that interview when he was talking about not replicating from, you know, another company and kind of like their success, but really focusing on kind of like the essence of what the Xbox platform is. What was your biggest takeaway from that interview with what Phil Spencer said?
Well, it was the little funny shot that he took. That, of course, I had to find that one.
No!
It was a funny shot that he took about the noise of the PlayStation. That was fantastic.
Do you remember what he said for the people who don't know?
He basically, what did he say? God dang it, he said.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious. It was basically talking about, well, we want people to recognize, to want to hear the sound of the games, not the console.
Yeah,
first.
that's pretty much exactly what he said, brother.
Died, and even it was so good that the dude smiled and like laughed and did kind of through his eyes, you know, did the little kind of shoulder thing, like, yeah, you're kind of right. I mean, that was great. That was a good little chapow, which means that when I agree with Crispy was saying, I'm sorry I didn't get to hear what Fred or what Wimmy had to say.
Well, we didn't get to Fred or Wilmy yet, man.
Oh, so I just came in on the topic.
You're fresh on the topic, brother.
Oh wow, okay. So I was about to take my time with it, but now since those guys in here, I'll be a lot more quicker. But they but yeah, that was pretty funny. No, I mean it was basically the things that what Crispy was saying about like the pauses because the guy was asking so many great questions to make him think, and he wanted to give out a couple of you know, a little bit more tidbits, but he knew that he couldn't. So he had to think about the things that he had to say, especially when they got into the topics about demonetization, I think that's what it's called, where they were talking about the whole situation with games with service and how like anybody can, you know, that could just be a startup to go get the Unreal Engine or some other engine to just kind of start a game from that.
Publish a game on Steam or Xbox, yeah.
And he was breaking down, and then the other dude, the interviewer, kind of broke him down and was like, "Hey, this is what you're talking about." And then Phil had to look like, "Oh, yeah, you're right." And so I like that the dude did not give Phil that awestruck, you know, like, "Oh man, it's Phil Spencer." He came into him like he's talked to other people of Phil's status before, which I really appreciated. I had to sub the guy for that stuff, man. And it was a great interview. Another thing that I got out of it was basically what a lot of people have been saying. I don't think anybody would think that was a secret, where they were going to be bringing more service games to the platform, especially going through Game Pass. I think that's a given. But he also brought the point of talking about games of how, like, when they first start, like he was bringing up Destiny because Destiny is one of his favorite games.
I think he brought that up for a reason too, brother.
Right. And just basically saying, hey, like these games, you can play it, and then it might be completely different from how games will turn out when you talk about like, you know, Minecraft, or we talked about Fortnite, things like that. So we'll definitely be seeing more games like that. And just looked at the growth at games like State of Decay 2 and especially Sea of Thieves, and how Sea of Thieves is just killing it right now when everybody thought the Sea of Thieves was dead in the water. So I see that there'll be a lot more of those type of games coming to Game Pass as well. But the one thing too that he also pointed out is that there's going to be big budget games that's going to be coming, but we're not going to try to follow the same Sony template. We're going to keep that diversity, and that's the thing that I want Xbox to do. Don't be Sony. Be yourself.
Yes.
Keep doing what you're doing. Just add those AAA bangers that people have been asking for. But we don't need to see a game that looks just like the Last of Us 2. That's not what I want Xbox to do. I want Xbox to do what they've been doing, just add that diversity like they have been on the 360 and on the OG Xbox. That's what we need. Like, I mean, and then of course, I personally want sequels to some games that I think that needs the opportunity, like Recore, Quantum Break, Killer Instinct. Rise, and I understand that some of those games will never see the light of day, but I do.
You could
feel
possibly
that,
see a Recore sequel.
And a Killer Instinct. I really do think the Killer Instinct is going to come back. But but even if you can't bring back Rise or Quantum Break, you can bring something that's similar to the table with that, because that keeps the diversity aspect to it, and on top of that, that's that AAA banger that people have been wanting and asking for. So yeah, I do definitely want to see new IPs. But I do also want to see Xbox stay true to themselves overall, and that's what I got. And then the one thing too, I'll add to all of this is the confidence is for real. Like
were you reading his body language like Crispy was? Because
his confidence was on another level, man. He like when he said when he asked him about, he said, Phil has to be nice about it, because I mean he genuinely do care about everybody else in the industry. And he know that there's, a lot of people think that PlayStation, a lot of people from PlayStation, and they think that what the relationship between Xbox and Sony is kind of like Microsoft and Google, and it's totally different.
Yo, I hate to interrupt you on this, but when you were saying that, another thing about the interview, when he was talking about, like when he was saying that, Nintendo and Sony, they're not really in position for the future of gaming, but then when he really talked about it, he said, well, he respects the companies that got us to where we are. He's like, when it comes down to it, Amazon and Google haven't been in this space. Right. So, like, I love the fact that, like, he's looking at them like a wolf looks at a sheep real quick. When he looks at Google and Amazon, like, yo, they ain't catching none of this. But when it comes to the companies that have been here from the beginning, Nintendo, coming in with the NES, stuff like that, then, what Sony did with the PlayStation moving forward, he's like, I respect those guys. I'm not going to ignore what these companies did for the gaming industry in pushing it forward. I thought that was awesome as well. Though. Right.
And see, this is the thing that I know when a lot of people say that they want this type of ego-driven, by any means necessary, Microsoft, or I should say Xbox, CEO to be up there, but that you don't really want that, because Microsoft does have the capital and the power to destroy Sony. They do. If there was a person that came in that had the mindset of like what a Google or Amazon is, PlayStation would be in trouble.
Yo, if Satya, when he first came into power, said one of his main goals was to take over the gaming industry, he would have gave over the funds and to do whatever necessary
he would want to. And that's the thing that I don't think that a lot of stands understands, is that you should give Phil a lot of they know who they are. But they should give Phil a lot of props for him being so humble and respecting the game, gaming as a whole, instead of just thinking about one thing. He has, like he said, he has to think about the competition. It's healthy. He likes it. It makes him driven as well. But you don't want a CEO to be out there because listen, as much as I'm an Xbox guy, I don't want Xbox to be the only thing in town, because then Xbox would turn into something that none of us would like. So
would turn into Madden when they were just doing little upgrades to the game per year.
Right, and that's no different with if Sony was the only show in town, or if Nintendo was the only show in town. Just think about how life would be as a gamer if all we have to think about is
we would all be PC gaming like Wilmy Hood does, man.
What's that game? Animal Crossing. We'd all be talking about Animal Crossing and Pokemon, bro. I mean, like,
I don't know, man. By reading some of the comments in this chat, I wonder what some of these fuckers just sit around and play.
So it's really crazy to me, but I understand that Sony is they're all important, and I really appreciate Phil for being real like that. But you could definitely tell that Phil is very confident about the Xbox and what they have coming, and I'm really excited.
Me
I'm
too,
really
bro.
really excited.
Me too, man. I am not tempering expectations for
No,
the
no tempered
July
expectations.
event.
Somebody
Yeah.
say that, I'll probably block them.
Yeah.
If I
Yo,
hear temper your expectations, Mega, I'm
Yo,
gonna
K
block you.
Mega, I will let you
I'm
know.
getting
I
you out of
will
here.
let you
You're out
know.
of here.
And he hasn't even been like secretive about this, but our
Yeah.
brother Crap Gamer is excited as well for the July event. Like he's been talking about like what Fable could be on Twitter and stuff like that. Yo, you see him kind of like, yo, I can't wait for this. It's really getting good, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I want to get Predator involved, and Predator. I think you know what we're talking about here. We're talking about the Phil Spencer interview. I do have to run down the hallway real quick as you start off, but the spotlight's here for you, brother. I want to know, what was the main point, the key thing that you got from Phil Spencer's article, and I'll be back like within a minute. Yeah.
All right. I like how he says he wants to hear, and then he tells me he's got to leave.
He's got to go kiss his wife's feet real quick. He'll be right back.
So for me, I think out of the whole interview, one of the things that came out was I guess, more or less the confidence that he had. And I know, like, he's an exec; he's supposed to show that, But I kind of felt like, for whatever reason, it seemed like he felt like he was really positive about what he's about to show. So that was a big bonus for me. I mean, there were some other things that kind of came subliminally in there that you guys probably didn't catch. Like, he kind of confirmed that Gears Tactics is coming to Xbox, which we kind of knew anyway.
Oh yeah. That part is true. Yeah.
He talked a little bit about what's that fucking flight simulator game? It sounded like it was coming to Xbox too. But
oh yeah. He did say he did.
Yeah, it's like some people didn't catch on that. They were so focused on, like, he didn't really give a lot of information about what he's gonna show, what's coming down the pipeline, other than those two games. But his confidence about, after when they talked about what Sony did, and I guess the guy asked the question how he felt about what he's gonna show going forward after seeing what Sony did. He was kind of like, yeah, I feel good. I feel like we don't need to boo.
Thank you for tackling. I was wondering who was going to talk about that, man. Go ahead, yo. My bad.
But yeah, I mean, like, so his confidence during that show, and especially after that question was asked, kind of, it seemed like it put him a little bit at ease that Sony had shown something compared to what they were going to show. Again, Microsoft always goes first. This is a perfect opportunity. This is the first time they've gone second in God as fucking long as I remember doing E3. So E3 not happening this year kind of like gave them an opportunity to kind of adjust on the fly. And the fact that he said, no, we listened to feedback from the first show we did, and we realized that we got to do some things differently. And Phil always says that, we heard this, we heard that. It's just up to them to change that, and fix it. But it shouldn't have taken a show like the first one they did, and I guess it was like a month and a half ago. It shouldn't have taken a show like that for them to come back and be like, "Oh, we did it wrong." Like, get the shit right the first time.
Damn.
You got one chance to show something to somebody, and you have to wait until it's over.
You have one chance to make a first impression, man.
Exactly, and the gamers have been telling him what we want for years. We've been saying, we need this, we need that. And I know some of these things take time, but the whole, like, I'm not going to show you games until they're ready, even though it takes like fucking 4 years to make a game. Like, that's not really the approach you should take all the time with every fucking thing you do. You got to learn stick the tip in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just tell us nothing all this time. So I think they're going to get this show right finally.
It sounds like you sound like you're like, man, I'm putting this out there. I'm putting these words out there. Like, I think it's gonna happen, but I'm still a little nervous about it.
Well, I mean, like, look at the track history though. So, like, of course you're gonna have a little reservations to what they do, because I think they're gonna do one thing and they turn around and do something completely different, and we're like, what the fuck was that? We do our after show. So like I honestly think they got it. I think they're gonna get it right this time. But I will say this, as a gamer, as an Xbox gamer, if they don't get this shit right, I'm fucking done, dude. Like, I can't sit and wait around for another E3, another, another event coming down the pipe in August, like to hear shit. Like this is your chance. Like we've waited for years for X, Y, and Z, and like you got a brand new console launching, you got Halo coming, you got you got the most powerful console in the world coming. Like I mean, like show me something other than something like Bug Snacks. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to see something showing the power of the console, and if you're not going to show that to me,
watch out, K Mega. That's one of his highly anticipated titles going into next generation. That Bug Snacks, man, it really has K Mega right now.
I mean, think about the real talk. Even with the launch of the Xbox One X, like we have not seen other than Gears. I give them some respect for Gears, but other than Gears, like none of the games they've come out with are screaming most powerful console. And I get that. No, I know.
What?
I get that.
Yo, you crazy?
You know, you gonna let me finish? You gonna keep talking over me?
My bad.
No, not even Sea of Thieves. Like, I mean, like, yeah, it looks pretty. It's got some good, some good mechanics in there and stuff like that. But like at launch, like that game wasn't. Oh my god! Like, and I get every game doesn't need to be photorealistic graphics and stuff. I completely understand that. But if you're gonna tout that, show that. And none of the games I've seen, with the exception of Gears, it seemed like none of those games really seem to utilize the power that they supposedly brought. And so this year in July, when they come up with their program, like you're gonna have to show me more than just. I mean, I'm sure Halo's gonna be fucking fire. I'm sure we're getting that in a minute, but you got to show me more than grounded. I need to see something, and Hellblade is looking nice too. So, like, but those are the two games I've seen. But I need to see their first party shit show me something that I've never seen before, like blow my fucking mind.
That's why I'm excited that the rumors are coming around that the initiative again is not working on a Perfect Dark reboot, but a new IP. I think that's something that goes right along with what you're talking about, Brad. Yeah,
and that's something else too. Like the whole IP thing. Like that's the new IP thing. Like we've gotten some sequels, that kind of thing. But like we definitely need a new IP, at least two. I mean, like give me two games I've never heard of before with a brand new name. Don't just don't do it.
No, but I'm saying this generation, like people talk about new IP left and right this generation, but we got Rise, we got Sunset Overdrive, we got Recore, whether you liked it or not. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we got a sequel to State of Decay, but we got Sea of Thieves. We did get new IP this generation that people kind of gloss over. Quantum Break as well, and people kind of gloss over those this generation, though, man.
Yeah, because we didn't get sequels to them, and they kind of got brushed under the rug because of other, like maybe the resolution issue. Yeah.
What PlayStation this generation got a sequel to one of their big games? What games they started off at the beginning of the generation with?
Last of Us.
That game was last gen.
Was it? Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah. Let me think. Okay, look at it this way. Let me answer your question with a question. Do you feel more confident in getting a sequel to PlayStation games, or like you're gonna get a Horizon Zero Dawn 2? Like, what sequels are we gonna get from the games that came out this generation from us? Like, besides Titanfall?
That's a good question.
Good point. That's a good point because a lot of the new IP were what they call second party. And, when it comes to games like Rise, of course, Sunset Overdrive, we're never going to get a sequel to that on Xbox anyway. So that's a good point.
Yeah, Xbox got screwed over by second party so bad this gen. It was awful. And it is just what it is. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. That's why I was saying, like, some redemption would be Recore and a Killer Instinct. Those the only two I could really say that I could see coming out from this generation, even though that there was some other great titles that came out.
I mean, we got Cuphead. We got Ori. I mean,
we got Cuphead too. Oh well,
we didn't get a sequel.
Switch as well. But,
we didn't get a sequel to that though. We haven't got a sequel. The only sequel
Ori.
we've gotten. The only sequel we've gotten is Ori.
That's
that I can think of, top of my head, is Ori. And I mean, we'll get an Ori 3. I mean, obviously, I think that game is going to be a game we'll see every 3 or 4 years. But but everything else has come out as far as exclusives And I'll take out the mantra of it going to PC or the Switch. Like I won't even add that. Every game that Microsoft came out with is an exclusive, whether it stayed exclusive or not. We don't have sequels to those games. Titanfall, no. Sunset, no. What was the game from the movie game? I keep calling it movie game.
Quantum Break.
Quantum Break, no.
And that one needed a sequel, man.
Yeah, and a lot of the games that we talk about need sequels. And the thing is, they're never gonna get them. And if they do, it's gonna take like some ass kissing and ball licking to get one. And whereas Sony's side, and that's why I was saying I'm gonna answer this question with a question. Like Sony's side, you're gonna get a Horizon Zero Dawn 2. You're gonna get Detroit probably 2. You'll probably get you might even get a fucking
Detroit's multi-plat now. Though.
Yeah, it is. You're right. You'll probably get a God, what the fuck is
Days Gone?
We'll definitely Days Gone. Maybe.
Days Gone sold well.
Yeah, you might get a fucking order too before we get that,
Oh,
even though it's not on
wow.
their, even though it's not on their platform anymore.
Yeah. You're right. Well, no, we ain't going to see because Sony owns the rights to that.
No,
Yeah,
Facebook.
so like-
yeah.
But the games that Microsoft has come out with, like the chances of us getting a sequel, like we got a lot of work to put in to get them. I mean, hell, they're going to get a Spider-Man at some point too, right? So I mean, it's just, I just think that like they got to come out with a brand new franchise that's going to like survive more than one game. You know, like we need something brand new and fresh that's we've never seen before with a new and like a new I guess something new to carry on to the next generation of kids they're going to grow up with. Like, this I said this before, like we grew up with Halo, some of us grew up with Mario, like we got that. Those kids, I remember the Mario when I was growing up, Contra and stuff like that. We remember those games. Our next generation of kids are going to remember Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're going to remember those games, playing those games as kids. What game is going to come out next that kids that are like 4 right now, what games are they going to remember going forward? And I don't know if Microsoft has that right now in their library. I just don't. I don't think they have it yet. And we got to figure out what that game is and make it, and put it out there. But
yeah,
I just don't see that. And I think that's one of the things that they're missing from their portfolio is that game. It could be Sea of Thieves, who knows? But hell, I can't say Minecraft because everybody's playing that game. But like they need a game like that. They need to come out with a brand new franchise like that for the kids that are like 8 and under to remember when they're growing up.
Yeah, and so this way, once they grow up and they have the wallet, they're the main consumer. They have that history to fall back on. Yeah,
I want those kids, the kids that are growing now, like at 4 or 5, they're 4 or 5 right now, when they're 26 years old, I want them to hear those conversations. Like, man, they should remaster, Bug Snacks 2. I would love to see that game again. Like, I need to hear that from Microsoft.
Yeah.
I remember playing that shit all fucking night, like LAN parties, just like the conversation.
LAN parties for Bug Snacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I need to hear that from Microsoft. I need to hear a game like that in the future. Like, we'll never know until it happens, but like none of the games that I've seen so far are going to do that for me.
Well, that's
Minecraft is a kid Mario right now.
I think that's one of the reasons why this July event is so important to a lot of people. I definitely hear what you're saying, bro. I do have to hit up these super chats real quick. Yo, Humble Beast hitting up that super chat. Talking about that 38 times ray tracing, kind of like more powerful than the 2080 Ti. He said Digital Foundry confirmed 380 billion gigaраys in the tech breakdown, where the 2080 Ti is 10 billion gigaраys. Yo, check the DM. Thank you, brother. I will definitely check that out. I know I got more coming here. Let me scroll through here. Let's see. Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat. He says Forza 7, Forza Horizon, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Gears. He's talking about sequels there. They're okay, I got you, bro. So we did get sequels, but not new IP, and then Red Dead is a multi-plat. But I see where you're going with that, brother. We have Infernal Lock hitting up that super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, yo, what up, my guys? What is up, Infernal? Good to see you, bro. We have Sir X-Man one more time. Brother, are you spending your whole check here? What is going on? definitely appreciate it. Thank you, brother. He said, we are getting exclusive remake of Panzer Dragoon. Brother, that would be insane. I would be down for that. Would you guys be down for that? Just quick yes or no.
Oh yeah.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
down for that. I'm
Hell
down for
yeah.
that.
At this point in my life, yes.
Okay, at this point, he's like, I'm an older, calmer Crispy right now. So yeah, definitely. Yo, Infernal Lock, one more time. Crossfire X, my guy. Brother, I did try that out real quick. I have to get used to kind of like the movement and stuff like that. It seemed a little bit kind of like...
Turn the sensitivity down to 40 and it'll be a lot better for you.
It'll be a lot better.
Yeah.
Definitely has potential, though. I'm not a big kind of like person-on-person military type stuff. I'm more into like sci-fi and stuff like that. But I can definitely see, you know, a community for Crossfire X, and I will try it again. But I think I caught up. I finally caught up to the super chat. Thank you guys, everybody, for the support. We are going to our special guest, Wilmy Hood. Now, Wilmy, did you check out the Phil Spencer interview?
Dude, I did, but I just sent you a message. I have to take off. I've got a whole house full of family, dude, that are they're continuing to knock on my office door, and they're probably going to drag me out here in the next few minutes.
No problem. Hey, brother, first off, again, you know, congratulations on what's going on with your family growing, all that good stuff. I do have to say, brother, I absolutely love having you on this show. Hopefully you definitely come on again.
You know how to get me.
I appreciate the time, bro. Go do what you gotta do. Spend time with your family. Go crazy. And K-Meg, I don't know if you know, but Wilmy Hood is about to be a first-time granddaddy.
Oh wow! Congratulations, bro.
Well, thank you. And see, plus my son came up from Florida, and he's working on a video game. I'm not going to say who he's working for, so I've got to try to pump some info out of him too.
Do we, because you are leaving at this point in time, do we get some information on that video game if you do get some info, man? I gotta know.
I can't, because he's not supposed to give me info either.
What if we
if I told you who he worked for, it'd probably flip a lot of people's minds in the chat. So
what if we promise not to say anything?
That doesn't work.
You know
he had to sign an NDA
I'll work on you in a Twitter DM. I'll try to get some information from you, brother. Yo, again, thank you so much, man. It's been a blast, dude.
Chat, you guys have a great night, and gentlemen, I will talk to you guys again soon. So
congratulations, brother, man. Take it easy.
Later, gentlemen.
Nice. Okay, so, shout out to Infernal Lock hitting up that super chat one more time. He said, K Mega, did you remember what I said to tell X Spot? What?
I completely forget it. Totally forgot, man. I'm gonna have to go back and check it out. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Infernal. If it's how fire the gameplay is right now, it's all my gameplay. So yeah, you can definitely let people know that the best gameplay is on next podcast. I'm just saying, throwing it out there. That's all.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Locke. I got wrapped up. My mind got only thing I got on my mind right now is Greenleaf.
Yeah.
So it's Oprah's own network. That's all I got on my mind right now.
Yeah. Your mom going in for Oprah.
Going hard in the paint, man. Jesus.
Yo, doing it like Sir Charles as a rookie, man, going hard in the paint.
Yes.
Yo. All right, well, guys, let's get into the whole Halo thing, and then after that, we can wind it down, get into the outros and stuff, because, they're starting the Halo Infinite kind of like marketing, and they started with a transmission that had to deal with a certain villain from Halo Wars 2. And guys, Twitter, the Halo fans out there, both kind of like, the people from the past that might have skipped out on this generation or whatnot, and the newer kind of like Halo fans, everybody kind of came together on this, first part of the marketing with the Banished and Atriox, baby. I am incredibly excited for this. I'm gonna go to K Mega first, just because I know you got a lot of hype for this going.
And we're gonna be talking about this for an hour, so I'm just gonna go get a beer. Thanks.
Just one beer, man. It's no problem.
Take an hour to drink a beer?
No,
Put a
because
nipple on that shit.
yeah, I know, for real. No, I'm gonna be quick because I'm gonna let everybody else in, and then when it gets to the round table talk about it,
know your backdrop.
Then that's what's gonna go long.
Yo, what's going on here, K-Mac? I know your backdrop with Halo. I know, your excitement for that. I know Predator, not necessarily into sci-fi, but I'm definitely interested in what he has to say about it. And when it comes to Crispy, it can go left field, right field, up center. It can go behind home plate. I don't know where it's gonna go. So that's why I started with you, K Mega.
All right, cool. This is very big. I mean, massive big for the Halo franchise, because what it does is, and if people remember, I said that they should go this direction by bringing in the Banish and Atriox, because now what you have, and I don't think in any Halo we've ever had that, even though Halo has a lot of enemies, I think the closest thing that we have to what Atriox and the Banish is the Didact. And you really didn't get enough of him because of 4.
I was so mad when they killed the Didact, dude.
But what Atriox is like the Thanos. Just think of like the whole Marvel universe and how Thanos was just such a badass. That's what Atriox is. A lot of what I also realized, there was a lot of people who didn't play Halo Wars too, because when I played a clip, I was over here thinking like, oh man, everybody's going to know what that is, and it was really crazy because there was so many people who didn't, but they even got more excited because they were like, wow, who is this big ass damn gorilla looking thing, and this this big ass brute. But like, the one thing about with Halo, the earlier Halos, like the brutes are just kind of like these big dumb things that just run around and they're just strong and powerful. Mm-hmm. And they're more of a nuisance because they're so strong. Atriox is on a whole nother level. Like he is considered, to me, he's considered as the Master Chief of that whole
of the whole covenant. Yeah,
of the covenant, not of just his species, but the covenant. He is the Master Chief of that.
He's like a mix of Master Chief and the Arbiter, because they sent him on so many suicide missions.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and then once he found the truth, which that also could open up a lot of potential into the story of Atriox. So when I brought up, when we've talked about Halo before, I've kind of said like, well, I think that this is kind of like the start of where Chief is the saga of Chief is going to go down. I still believe that, but I don't think it's going to be in this game. I think Chief is going to have one more game after this, because they have. I do, because this reason, because Atriox, that voice was not Atriox. That was a lieutenant. So it's going to introduce Chief to the Banished, which the Chief, of course, people think the Chief just can walk around and just kick everybody's ass. Just like,
Oh no, he's going to get his ass lumped the first time. Yeah.
When they finally find when Atriox and Chief meet each other, there's going to be a lot of broken hearts because Chief is going to get his ass beat. Thoroughly. Like, it's going to be kind of like a shocking, like how Iron Man met up with Thanos, and yeah, it was dope. But then, like, Thanos was like, "Look, I'm inevitable." You know what I'm saying? This is, this is what I
threw a planet at him, man.
Right. Like, so that's why I think it's got to be a continuance before the end of this whole Chief Cortana saga goes. And what this also opens up is just the potential of not only bringing more characters in, which bringing back the Red Team, Spirit of. You could bring even new protagonists involved into this story to finally open the universe. That's why I was begging for this to happen, because the Banish is on a whole nother level. The Covenant is almost on its way out. You still have the Prometheans. We don't know what Cortana's going to do, and then if you played Halo Wars 2, which a lot of people haven't, unfortunately, the Flood is coming back. And just think what will happen when all of that shit is coming. I'm sorry, people. The Chief can't do that by himself.
Oh no, he's got
to have help.
He's gonna have help, man.
He's gonna have help. So it's gonna be one of these things where it's gonna be a crazy twists and turns. This universe is going to start expanding, and now what I hope is that it's going to start adding more lore to already a fantastic franchise, more so than what we've seen before. And then my last point is Well, it's my last point for right now because I gotta let everybody else talk. Is that we finally get that final big boss battle. So uh, I think that they'll start introducing that for the first time because we've had like the big mechanical spider things you got to shoot down and stuff like that, but we really haven't had a big boss battle in Halo. You know, except for the Didact. That's the only one I can remember. So it's like, let's bring it on. Let's see what this is all about, and what is the story going to do to compel to bring all of these things together. Because I'm stoked, bro. I was walking around. My wife was looking at me crazy. She's like, "What's wrong?" Once I heard that damn that clip, I said, "Oh Lord!" I was just hype.
No, and
the
the Banished are going after the Halo. They're saying they are going to secure the Halo, and they are going to watch humanity burn.
Yeah,
Like,
and yeah,
what?
No more lies. Yeah, like, so they're already on that ring, and that's why I'm like, oh my god, I was just like, oh, they're coming. The Banish is coming for everybody, and then of course, if you don't know, that's why I know it wasn't Atriox, because Atriox is kind of locked away somewhere from the story from when you play the DLC. The Nightmare.
I thought it sounded different, but when I heard the Banished, I just automatically thought Atriox.
Yeah,
You know
yeah. I think it's. Matter of fact, I think it's one of those brothers. I don't know. I can't speculate, but it's definitely a lieutenant. And they're gonna be really hyped, man. Because I mean, of course, as badass as they are, you don't playing it in an RTS. You don't really get the same feel as when you do when you playing it, from a third person or from a first person perspective, seeing those crazy ass things coming at you, man. It's gonna be wild.
Just real quick, K Mega, because I just want to put this in because this is something that me and you have talked about for a while. Now, look at it this way: like there's a possibility of 3 wars, or at least 3 groups going at Master Chief. When you look at, the Grave Mine running the Flood, we don't know what's going on with Cortana and the Forerunner technology, Promethean, stuff like that. And then you have Atriox and the Banished. Now, these are all, like, they could all have games with them, each one individually being the main antagonists, the main villains. And it looks like they're setting it up to where you're getting all 3 coming at the Master Chief with Halo Infinite and beyond. That to me is just insanity, man.
Oh, definitely. I'll let everybody else talk cause I got some more to say.
Oh no.
I'm so excited, man.
Let's go with Crispy real quick, since he just cracked open a fresh beer. When it comes down to it. Now, Crispy, you just started getting into Halo, at least again. All right, I know you're a Gears guy and stuff, but what do you think about the beginning of the marketing? Do you know what the Banished and Atriox are? What do you think about how this is starting to set up for Halo Infinite, man?
I will say this: I didn't know about Atriox. I didn't know about the Banished. And the beauty of it is they're still keeping with the timeline, because after I looked into it, which I think a lot of people that are at least interested or haven't played Halo Wars 2 are looking into, is the fact that it came after Halo 5. Technically.
Yo, Crispy, I cannot stand RTSs, but I will let you know what I did is I went in and I watched all the cutscenes leading up, so I got the story.
Disrespectful.
I hate RTSs, man.
Well,
I cannot get into it.
And that's and that's where you go and say, like, dude, there's a lot of story in Gears Tactics and stuff.
Absolutely.
But, you know what I mean? Like, it is a totally different way. Like, dude, when I saw Halo Wars 2, the first thing I saw was, a futuristic Command and Conquer. You understand what I'm saying? So I've played Command and Conquer many times in my life, and it gets old at some point. And I feel like, especially the newer generation is going to be like, what is going on? The beauty of it is that, to understand what Atriox is in the Banished, you understand that they were against the Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
They were against the humans also. So they basically felt like they were fighting two wars no matter what, even though the humans and the Covenant were always fighting. You know what I mean? And then to hear some of the backstory and say like, the Banished basically destroyed the Covenant on one end,
Mm-hmm.
and the humans barely fought them off on the other.
Yes.
That goes and makes you wonder that, that trailer that came out, and E3, and we watched it and we're like, what the hell is going on? It's almost like the Covenant and humans kind of, at least in that part of the universe, just basically destroyed each other. You know what I'm saying? So
the trailer, I think it was more Cortana, like they were going against Cortana than the Covenant. The Covenant, there are still sections of the Covenant that are still active. We saw in Halo 5, we saw Arbiter kind of like battling that last main source, and he eventually won that fight. But I can see the Covenant getting absorbed into the Banished to increase their numbers as well.
And that's the point. Like I keep seeing that, like the Banished kind of just absolutely like on their end just destroyed the Covenant. They had so many people like, or beings, inside of the Covenant that they use that to their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's kind of ruthless, and
Yes.
it's intriguing. You know what I mean? Like you can't not be intrigued by just that simple tease. Like it's like I don't know about them enough because I didn't play. I didn't play that game. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand what's going on, and I think that's kind of in the realm of it's going into Game Pass first, and you kind of have something that some people can go to and say, oh, I remember that, or I know about it, or I'm into the lore. I might not have played it. And then you also have something that people are like, what the hell is going on here?
Like,
You know what
oh
I'm
shit,
saying?
that's Atriox? Like,
You know what
that's
I
the
mean?
Banished? Oh my god.
And then they look into it and
Yeah.
they see how he's just murdered Spartans like nothing. And then you understand it a little bit better. And that's the weird thing about Halo is that the universe is so vast.
Mm-hmm.
It has like the Halo rings are still involved, which is crazy after all these years. You know what I mean? Like it's
the
still
ultimate
crazy.
weapon, man.
And that's the weird thing. And in that trailer, you saw the Halo ring in front of you, and it was smashed up and everything. And then you saw Chief float by, and then he freaking ended up picking him up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden he's like, oh, this hasn't happened in a long time. And I'm like, what do you mean what's happened? And then all of a sudden, like, he's getting, the ship's getting shot at and whatever the hell's going on. And it's almost like, finally the whole enemy has come into play now.
The whole we gotta run. No, we gotta fight. Like that. Man.
That's where I go and say, well, they kind of like, even with just this one tease, put it all together, at least for what you're expecting. You're expecting an old enemy, but they're new at the same time. They're probably even harder. Like there's gonna be a lot more people playing on easy, I think. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like you have hardened soldiers that have fought, both fronts, and then you have the humans just versus the Covenant, and they haven't seen the other side of it. And now they get to see it. You know what I mean? And that's something that is a good story. Like that intrigues me more. Like that makes me want to go back and play.
I was gonna say, are you what do you think about how they started the marketing? Did it catch you to the point where you're like, oh man, I wanna see where this is going now. I want to kind of get involved in this, possibly from the beginning. Is that kind of like because like we stated, you've been more of a Gears guy. You just recently gotten into like Halo 5 and stuff like that. Did this little marketing to kick it off? Did it get you to like, yo, all right, this is on my radar and I want to see where it goes?
That's exactly what it's done for me.
Nice, bro.
And I want to know more of the story. I know the gist, but I don't know the full story. I haven't beat every Halo game. I mean, there's a lot of Halo games, so you know, it's and the problem I have is that one way of playing turns into another on the next game, and you know, you have to relearn the game completely almost. And that's just because they've come out in different generations, and you have like a game like Reach, which I'm about to beat, and then you have
Reach
you
is
know,
such a great story.
you know, Halo Combat Evolved, which is totally different the way it plays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want to start where the story starts. You know what I mean? Because maybe by the end of the whole story, I'm actually decent at the game and I can play the multiplayer. That's the way I'm looking at it too. You know what I mean?
No,
I'm invested in the story. I'm invested in the story because I did play through. I beat Halo 3, but I didn't play through it the way I should have. I just basically was in a couch co-op with one of my buddies, and that's what that and Gears 1 started me at, you know, the Xbox, you know, ecosystem. So I'm behind, but I'm also intrigued that I haven't played Halo 2 at all. You know what I'm saying? And Halo Combat Evolved, I played very little. And the only thing is now you have Reach, which is technically a prequel to all of them. So I'm like, I have to start with that, but the movement and everything's so good.
Yeah,
and then I'm like,
Reach is basically like it is definitely a prequel, but it's not a prequel necessarily to Chief's life. Now, you know, there is a spot.
I know that.
There is a spot in there, but at the end of the day, you don't necessarily have to start there.
And that's where I feel Infinite's going at, is that they know there's a lot of people that have been invested, but they might go back because guess what? If you have Game Pass, you can go and play all those games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Collection,
so
man.
they're keeping you engaged. Like if they start it right and everything else, and they just get you engaged immediately, which I feel, because now that trailer and then just this little tease kind of make a little more sense to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then it's like, okay, what's really going on? Because you might beat the game and you might be like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get the whole story, but I want to know. You know what I mean? And I feel like finally we're seeing Microsoft market the way it should have been for a long time. And this is a start. Like, it's just a simple, like, you know, it's a transmission. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so simple, but it's like, now you start thinking about stuff. And I had to go and look it up because at least I'm somewhat invested. At least I've played some of the games. You know what I mean? So, you know, for me to, you know, miss out on things, I'm kind of like, I got to do it at some point. I just have to. Like, that's the way I feel. Like, if I'm having a bad day on Gears or nobody's talking to me, maybe I just, you know, Master Chief Collection, let's play Halo 2. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And the beauty of it is that you can co-op with somebody, be like, hey, anybody want to play Halo 2? Or anybody, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I love about Xbox. Like, that's something that's great, and I hope they don't change it. I hope it's not just like this single player thing. Like, you can't have somebody join you at some point, at least. You know what I mean?
I don't think they'll ever do that. They're even putting couch co-op back into Halo Infinite for people who do like sitting next to the person that they're co-oping with. So I don't think that you don't even have to worry about that, brother. I do want to get to Predator as well on this. So I'm glad it's got your interest, man. And you're kind of like on your path to learning more of Halo by playing through, you know, the original Halo games and stuff like that. Man, I'm proud of you, brother. Because, you know, when we first met, it was Gears. And again, I know you play other games, but that was your main itch. And to see you coming around into the Halo universe now and getting interest in that, I'm proud of you, brother. You are expanding, man. And I like to see that, dude.
I appreciate it.
Yo, Predator, again, I know you're not necessarily into sci-fi shooters. But when it comes down to it, the Banished, Atriox, a badass character. I can see the Banished kind of taking over since the Covenant is breaking down, and to see everything going on. Like, what do you think about the beginning to the marketing? Has it got you hyped? What are your thoughts when it comes to the Banished? And do you think that Xbox has to go in and kind of really let people know who Atriox and the Banished is? Because, like, you know, RTSs aren't a mainstay out there in console gaming. So what do you think they have to do that as well?
What's Halo? I don't even know what that
Oh
game is.
my goodness, man.
No, real
Go
talk.
back to your division, okay?
I played every Halo game, with the exception of the RTS, and that even includes Spartan Strike and Assassin. Or not Assassin. What is it? Spartan Strike and
Spartan Assault.
Spartan Strike and
Spartan Assault. Yeah,
Assault, yeah.
Spartan Assault. So I played all of them. I even finished the fight before most of you motherfuckers played it.
He said
And
he
you can-
finished the fight.
And you can check. You can check my fucking my awards or trophies, what the fuck they're called on Xbox, and see that I beat that game before most of you guys even started playing it. So yes, I play Halo.
Yo,
It's one of the
Pred,
only-
real
Go ahead.
quick, just real quick. I got to hit the super chat so I can see what the chat is saying because I've had it stuck there for a minute. Yo, Infernal Lock, thank you for the super chat, brother. And he's saying what he told K Mega to tell me. He said Master Chief is done on Halo Infinite. Set his old chicks down. New Ape Guy set down. Lock #1. Halo Rise of Lock.
How could I forget that greatness that he
man.
told? I do remember that, man. That
Infernal-
finally took the
Infernal-
green leaf out of my head.
Infernal.
Thank you.
I appreciate the support,
Rise
brother. I
of
do not
Lock.
agree with you. But back to Predator.
Hey!
Back to Predator,
Let's
man.
go.
Come on.
Okay,
All right.
so the Atriox story. So let me explain this to you. So I don't play RTSs either. That's one of the Halo games I never played. I do think they need to introduce that character and that story because a lot of people don't play RTSs. When the game starts, like they got to go into the background of who he is and like how he became who he is, et cetera, et cetera. The best way they should have done that was just have a separate spinoff of just Atriox. Period. Like not an RTS, like a full up like spinoff game.
Well, I
another
can see
Halo
them
type.
building it up cinematically.
They would have hated it, Fred. They would have talked shit about that one too.
They're gonna talk shit about it anyway, but people would have bought it because it's a Halo game. But they should have at least gone to that story to some degree, even if it was like DLC for Halo 5 or something like that. They should have went into that story. But I don't know if they knew what direction they're gonna go with that character
Exactly.
until later on. So like, I mean, it's over the bridge now. You can't do shit about it. But I would love to go back and do that game of just him and how he got to where he is. I think that would make a great story. Even if they do like some DLC for this next Halo to get to that point. So and let you play as that character, whatever.
Origins
again,
of Atriox DLC.
Yeah, like
that
something
would be
like that.
Sick,
Yeah.
man.
And so when I heard you guys talking last night on Crossfire for like 30 hours about Halo,
Dude, it felt so good. Yo,
that
Crossfire
was-
felt like old school Crossfire, man.
that's where I came up with that idea. Like, why don't they just do a story of Atriox? That'd be fucking awesome. But and again, I didn't play Halo Wars 2, so I don't know his story and how he got to where he is. And a lot of people are in that same boat, so they got to bring in that character and at least introduce him to some degree and how he got where he is to kind of get that story rolling. I do like that they're bringing him in, and what you guys were saying before, like you got the Flood, you got fucking Atrox, you got all this other people coming at him. It's gonna be an interesting story, and I hope they don't try to cram it in all into one game, and they can expand it out over maybe a couple of games. I know we talked about this in the chat on Twitter before, like how I feel like the story's gonna go. I gave like a full in-depth detailed story of how this shit should go, and I think Chief dies like in this story. I think okay, I even do K Mega a solid. Chief dies. The next game is going to be his boy and I can't think of people's names right now.
Buck,
Red
maybe?
Team, Jerome.
No, the fucking Arbiter going after
Oh.
going after Atrox and killing him. I don't know what's gonna happen with Cortana. I have no fucking clue right now. But
Yeah, she's the wild card.
yeah, like I have no clue what's gonna go on with her character. I just from what I've seen of the game so far, they have so much to build on, and I just hope they don't fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? It's like like I think this game's gonna sell well. I think it's probably gonna be the biggest launch of Xbox's most recent career because I can't think of anything else that's launched better than
Say
Halo in
the
past.
Phil Spencer regime. How about that?
The Phil Spencer regime. I think it's gonna be a great launch title for them, and it's gonna outsell pretty much anything that's launched, with the exception of maybe GTA 5, for a while. I think it's gonna be huge for them, especially with them launching over Xbox and PC at the same time. So. A lot of people keep forgetting about that part, like it's launched on PC too. Like they don't talk about that, but I'm more interested in the story than I am the multiplayer because I think they got the multiplayer part down in Halo
Yes.
5. I'm not even concerned about that. It's
No.
the story is what fucked up Halo 5, and I think that they got to get that shit right this time around, and they can't fuck around with it. If they need to expand this shit out and even do some DLC for the story to get the shit right, do that shit.
Well, Pred, and this is going back to the Phil Spencer interview where he talked about Bungie real quick and having that roadmap. See, what I think is going to happen with Halo Infinite, you're going to have a story, when you buy the game. But I feel like over time with the story, they're going to add on content, which of course, it's a first party game, so it's going to be in Game Pass. So the DLC is just it's going to be adding on to the story as they progress. Like, do you think that would be a good idea, man?
Yeah, but what I don't want them to do is Fortnite this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No. I believe the rumors. I believe the rumors about this is going to be the biggest Halo story with the 35 missions and all of that and side missions. But I think what you're talking about, which I totally agree, Fred, is the expansion of everybody's universe the expansion of the universe to get everybody included. Like, finally give us what's going on with Oni
everybody.
and with Locke. Red Team is definitely going to come
man,
back.
I thought you were going to say Buck. I did not think you were going to say Locke, man. That's crazy.
Well, Team Osiris, the greatest Spartans. But anyway, and then finally give us a little bit more about Red Team, like you said, Atriox. Give us all of that and expand it. That would be perfect. I think that's
when I say I don't want them to Fortnite it, what I mean by that is, like, don't sell me little dance moves and shit like they did in Gears of War.
They'll have that for the multiplayer.
Like make the game the way it's supposed to be. Like and honestly, like, I wouldn't even mind if they took more of a Destiny format and then kind of like every year or two add a new part to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'd be okay with spending money on that. Like, I understand the story of Halo. I don't really understand the story of Destiny too much, but I don't think they did when they first came out with the game.
You gotta tune into My Name Is Bife to like
I ain't
really
got time
get.
for that shit.
It's crazy though, man. It's crazy.
But I'm
Thank
actually,
you, Big Mike. I appreciate it, brother.
If they can expand this universe for another 5-6 years, the way that Destiny has done it, the way that Destiny 2, should I say, has done it with this last iteration. And I don't even remember when Destiny 2 came out, but it seems like they're constantly updating it with new stories, even though we got to spend money on it, but like the core mechanics of the game don't change. They just add more to the story. And when you upload, that new story, it just adds like another section, and you just go to that section and start doing shit. So I like that aspect of Destiny, and I wouldn't mind if Halo did that and they expanded the universe and added new areas that we could never go into before that we didn't know about, et cetera, et cetera. So I can see them trying to make this game last years, because I don't want to have to come back in 3 years and see, Halo, fucking Covenant edition, whatever, like another version. I have to spend another $70 on that shit.
I think they're taking the story, and again, I think you're getting a complete story when you get the game when it launches, right? Mm-hmm. But I think they're using. And I hate to say it like this because I think people are going to get the wrong idea. I think they're using the games as a service kind of like mantra, but as story content. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
they
gonna
add to it.
They're going to inject story into it that's going to be interesting. It's going to be intricate. It's going to broaden the universe like over time. And I'm down with something like that, man.
And if that's the case, that's the first time, because I don't think they've ever had single player DLC for Halo ever.
I'm trying to think.
Well,
I'm
what
trying-
color? Which color was supposed to be, but they expanded it.
Reach.
ODST.
ODST.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think they've ever. ODST was a great game. It's like my second favorite Halo. But I wouldn't mind them taking that approach. You know, like adding a story-based DLC to it because I've never seen that in Halo before. I mean, and I think with them spending all this money on the Slipspace engine and the amount of people that are going to be playing this game across Xbox and PC, I think they gotta go balls to the wall with this game. Like, here's something else, something that y'all haven't thought about: the fact that they're marketing this so soon. Because we've talked about their marketing the entire generation.
Yeah.
They're marketing this game before it comes out, like starting now. And it's, you know, they're gonna have their event in July. We'll see more. And I hope they continue this and it doesn't turn out into the shit they did last time with Halo 5 with the help me out, Xbot, with the tapes and stuff like that they had before.
Oh yeah, it was kind of like viral marketing on
like,
YouTube,
which was cool, but none of that stuff seemed to transpire into the game. So I hope they stick with they do this marketing the way I want them to do it. They do it right, and they continue. The marketing matches the game. Let's put it that way. I hope that works out this way this time. That whole fight scenario with, you know, Locke chasing Chief and the little fight scene we had,
where people can say what they want, but Master Chief walked away from that fight too. I'm just saying, he did.
He walked away from it. He walked away from the fight. That's cool.
He got the best of Locke real quick, and then he walked away.
But he got that visor broken too, because he was thinking that Locke wasn't but then Locke said, oh shit.
Locke got frozen with that puck, yo. Locke got frozen with that puck.
If Locke can do that, imagine what fucking Atrox gonna do to his.
Thank you. That's true. Just think.
Somebody's gonna die. Someone's gonna die.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be death. There will be death.
Bane and Batman. How about that, man? Like,
This is the thing that I'm hoping that comes to Halo there, because this is something I've always wanted Halo to kind of get to, is have a
what up, Deadpool?
Is have a darker edge to it. Not to be as dark as Gears, but have a darker edge to it. And having I was gonna say Thanos, but having
that hint of
Atriox.
Shadow in it, like
yeah. Give me that. You know what I'm saying? And this seems like this is the perfect opportunity to give people a sense of like concern. Like, damn, I might come in here and I might not. You know, because when you think of Gears, like, I don't want to, you know, there's universes and stuff that you would think of as a kid, or, you know, as you playing these games, you're like, oh yeah, I would definitely be down to be in this fantasy world and kick ass and shit like that. I would never want to be in anything Gears related, because it's just too raw. It's too raw. It's too raw.
Your face chainsaw.
Yeah. It's too raw. What's up, Dreadpool? And so, for me, I want Halo to have that type of feel, instead of everybody having this. Well, I got Master Chief. I'm playing as Master Chief. I don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Because even in God of War,
you got comfy, man.
You get in God of War, you got comfy. I would have to say in the new God of War, once you was fighting that little crazy little motherfucker, he made you feel concerned. Like, this dude is badass. Like, I don't know, Thanos, you know, Kratos. I mean, you got to watch out now. This dude ain't nothing to fuck with. So that's what I want it to be, to where people have concern, and Atriox is definitely the character to bring that, and just his banished alone, because it's not only just him. I mean, he has elites, he has other crazy brutes that's like him. He has everything from the Covenant, and it would be crazy. I haven't seen anything like it yet, but that would be crazy if they have like just all different types of mercenaries, even like new type of aliens that may pop out or something like that. That would be wild.
I will say from that little transmission, it feels like that the enemy for once really has something to fight for, and it's not about ideals or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's about their way of existence, and that
it's
makes
the way they live, man.
About it. Yeah, like. They've been fighting for their entire lives, what they feel like.
For their lives, their entire lives, man.
and they've been fighting the one that they came from, and now humanity, what's left of it, is in front of them, and it feels like it's gonna come to a head. And like, I'm not in disagreement about what anybody's saying about what they think the story is. I think because Xbox is so good at it, you will come out triumphant in the end, no matter what it is.
Crispy, just to build off what you said right there, and for people out there, me, I'm a Halo guy. I love the Halo franchise, love the Halo universe. I love the lore backdrop. Like, to me, it's a universe that is filled out the way like the Star Wars universe has been filled out. There's so many components to it. One thing about the first 3 Halos, when it came to the Covenant, there was like a religious aspect to it. They were doing it in terms that they were saving themselves. They were bringing themselves to heaven. There was a certain amount of desperation there, but it was more on the religious aspect. When you bring the Banished in on this, there is again a renewed desperation to it, because it's not just that they're trying to find their path to heaven or enlightenment or whatever you want to call it. The Banished, they have been sent out, and this is the only way they basically know how to live. It's either kill or be killed. Like, they want to see humanity burn. Desperation is back in the Halo world. Like, when it comes to Halo 5, I enjoyed the story, but to me, there wasn't a lot of desperation until Cortana. Like, there was desperation when Cortana started putting the Guardians out there, but that was at the end, basically at the end of the game. With this, I'm feeling a sense of desperation, kind of like right off the rip, and it brings back kind of like that feel from Halo 1, 2, and 3.
Can I give an example?
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite movie of all time is The Dark Knight. Okay? And the reason why my favorite movie is The Dark Knight is because the way it started. You remember that meow, meow, like, and then all of a sudden it's going from this Joker to that Joker, and then the real Joker kills the last one.
Yeah.
Okay? And it feels like desperation.
Yes.
It feels like he's taking, like, he killed somebody that's, working for another, organization. You know what I'm saying? And he just did it out of nothing. And just like, yeah, good. You could die. And there you go. And that's where I go and say, like, character development is very huge. And I feel like, the way, and shame on me, I don't know his name, but the way that, the voice of Master Chief has come out here and constantly doing like little things. Yes, yeah. So I
got to interview him, man. My bad. Yeah, I just have a big smile on my face because of that. Yeah.
But you understand, like, dude, this could be the end, or this could be a beginning of something else. And the intrigue of it is that you don't know, and that gets you to buy the game or get Game Pass for it, because you don't know what's about to happen. And I feel like it comes from that. I feel like they were really good when they released that trailer, because it felt like, Master Chief's just being his hard-headed self and saying, we're going to fight something that, is insurmountable in his head.
And that dude says, we got to run.
Yeah.
We
exactly.
got to go. Your ass was asleep. You don't
know. You don't know what is coming. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of it, is I feel like it's starting to come into, if we see some gameplay, we see a good trailer maybe before it, people are going to be really, really hyped. Especially the people that are invested, at least somewhat, even like myself. I know some of the story. I don't know it all. But even the people that haven't played any of the Halos might be like, oh shit, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where gaming, I love it, but I also want a lot of gameplay. I don't just want cutscenes. I don't want, like, people talking to each other. Like, I've experienced it in Gears, even Gears 5, like, it's like a lot of talking to each other, and I'm like, I get it, but the beauty of Master Chief is he's so silent and he's so, invested in what's going on in front of him. And that's what I absolutely
He's
love
so
about
directed,
Halo.
man. He's
He's the killing machine.
He's very
let's
from
be
point
serious.
A to point B. That's it. Let's do
You're
this.
gonna be hearing a lot of moans and groans when some of them bandits get a hold of his ass.
Yo, he's gonna come back on him, man. Don't get it twisted. He's
Oh
gonna
no
get his
no no
ass
no! He's
beat
gonna
first.
listen. This is the thing here for me overall. I when I say that I you know what I'm saying, I'm hoping that they expand on the lore and then it's finally the end of the Chief and Cortana saga.
Which me and you go back and forth in DMs
Right,
about.
but
like,
we go hard in the paint on it. But this is the reason, But I've made that point of why I wanted it because I want the universe to expand. But what is more iconic for a person? Is it iconic for someone to keep fighting the same old fight, or for somebody who fight the most glorious fight, and then they go out as a real one, as a G, as all our favorite movie. Like if you look at the Game of Thrones, right? When there was a part where it looked like Jon Snow was finna die, when he pulled out the sword and was standing there when all of those cats was coming at him on horses and had weapons, and you let that moment, like if he died at this point, I'm not going to be mad at it. I'm with that. What you got mad at is how Jon Snow died the first time. So it's like that should piss you off. That's the way that I want Chief to go out, is in a blaze of glory, fighting off all of this crazy shit and ending the Covenant once and for all, and then starting a whole new era of Halo. That's how I want it to be.
I want to ask you something real quick.
That's the perfect sign off.
Would you be accepted of ending the game like Reach?
oh,
Well, I mean, they're battling on Reach again, so it could be. It could. There's going to be some kind of similar, like to go back to Reach, because that's what that's some of the rumors are, is that they're going back to Reach where it all started. So which means somebody's going to die. That's just somebody important that's going to die.
Yo, shout out to Mike. Yo, not for anything, but Mike Ortiz.
Yeah.
He said he watched the Halo trailer 5 times today. Yo,
Bro,
damn, brother.
That's it's amazing. That's
I
the
think
thing.
that's
So
the way they made it, though. They made it as information comes out. You go back to that trailer.
you go back
and you
check
start
it out and
realizing what's going on there. I think that's genius.
I did it too. I went back and I checked, and I was like,
That is the beauty of it. Is I'm the one that brought it up, and I'm not a Halo fan.
Right, and then also, like, when I went back to check out, when I was showing clips of when I beat Halo Wars 2, I was like, oh God, I remember that. Oh no! So like I said, 2 more points. I said Halo 5 is going to be remembered as kind of like the Tokyo Drift, the thing that puts everything together.
Tokyo Drift, yes.
It will be the one that put it all together. And then Halo Wars 2 is just is right after Halo 5. It is right
So
after
it's like
Halo
a
5.
Halo 5 continuation almost.
Or actually it's right during the same time. But yeah. Halo Wars 2 and Halo 5 are so closely connected. And so those two right there brings in this story and opens up the universe by far. And then my last point on this is that, how about to those haters out there that's been saying for the last 5
Here
years
we go. Here it is.
that Halo is
dead.
insignificant. It's dead. No one cares. Everybody's been talking about The Last of Us 2 until that snippet popped up. Everybody was talking about about The Last of Us 2, this and that, and then until the real king popped up. I told these people for years that Halo is not lost any luster. It's just dormant because nobody don't know shit about it.
Well,
now, look at what's happening.
People underestimate the Halo community. I've been trying to say it.
They underestimate the power of Halo, because even people who don't even know that much about Halo is like, what's going on here? And they still want to know what the hell is going on. Halo is a legacy title. It is always going to be up there, one of them Rushmore titles, regardless if Chief is there or if not. Pay your respect. Stop frauding the public with that bullshit. Halo still holds its place amongst the hierarchy.
Absolutely, it's got me intrigued, bro.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, dude. That's one of the things I'm really taking away from tonight's episode on this topic is how intrigued, how interested Crispy is on all this. And another thing I want to state is when it comes to the Halo community, there were Halo guys at the beginning of this generation with what happened with the Xbox One reveal and stuff like that went towards PlayStation and all that good stuff. But if Xbox knocks it out the park with showing this game, I will, you can be damn assured that those Halo people will be like, well, I know where I'm going this next generation because, at the end of the day, they are Halo people, first and foremost. You saw what happened with the Master Chief Collection, with the multiplayer not working for so long, having like different issues and stuff like that. You can see those Halo guys like, yeah, I'm not even, I already played those, I'm good to go. When Halo 5 came out, there was a lack of content in the beginning. The Forge wasn't there. There was a bunch of stuff going there, and then you can see them being like, all right, well, I'm happy where I am right now. They knock it out the park with Halo Infinite and what they're going in with the story and stuff like that. You can be assured that there's going to be a lot of people that will be like, you know what, we're back at it again, yo. And shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat one more time. He said, I want Halo space battles with a custom ship. He wants to be able to customize the longsword for himself. Brother, I hope we get that, man. I hope you get exactly what you're looking for with that. But guys,
that'd be dope if they add that to the multiplayer or something like that.
Yeah, no, that would be crazy, man.
That would be crazy. Let me say this. Somebody in the chat that brought this point. This is a great point. What Brian Wood said. He says Halo 5 is the epilogue. Halo Wars 2 is the prologue. Perfectly well said. Nice.
But on that note, guys, we did go long again. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat that hung out with us for as long as we went on tonight's show. Guys, like when it comes down to it, I think we can make a whole show dedicated to like Halo. There was a lot of really interesting stuff to talk about this week, and I'm glad. Thank you guys for supporting us. Tonight. And every Saturday, but for us going as long as we did, but guys, I think it's time to wind it down. Like a 40-year-old with a comb over, I think it's time that we get those plugs in. Absolutely love tonight's show, by the way. Starting off with Wilmy, having K Mega come in, a lot of interesting topics, opinions, stuff like that were shared. I will say this was a lot of fun to do for you guys tonight, and thank you guys for hanging out with us. I'm gonna start with Crispy, man. Crispy, he already cracked open the beers. He thought we were gonna be here for another 2 hours or so. Yo, Crispy, again, your interest in Halo and what's being shown and what's to come, I'm really excited, not only for me but for you as well. But it's time to let people know where you are out there. You are on a couple different shows. Let people know about those, and let people know where they can go to talk games with you, brother.
It's always a pleasure. I mean, I think the conversation tonight was awesome. Like,
it was great, man.
Absolutely great. Unbelievable. I do my research. I might not have played every game, but I pay attention. And a good story, a good, triumphant story always grabs me a little bit. Like, by the end of it, you may not have won the war, but you won the battle. And that's what I love about gaming. A lot of people call me out and say you don't want PlayStation, because a lot of times a lot of people feel misery when they leave a game, and I don't want to feel that. I want to feel I might have been in the ups and downs, but I want to feel that I've become triumphant at the end.
You want to feel that triumph at the end? Yeah, I got you, brother.
And even if it's just for a short period of time, and then they come out with a sequel or whatever, like, I feel that every time I play a Gears or a Halo, I feel that, at the end, the war hasn't been won, but the battle has been won.
Oh, damn. Real quick, Crispy, K Mega, I feel for him when he beats Halo 4, by the way. Just after what he just said, Halo 4 is going to grab you, bro. I'm just saying.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? The toughness is involved, and that's the beauty of it. but we have to realize that we're all gamers, and in the end, like, we have our opinions, and we may not own every console like some people do, and I attribute to people playing on every console all the time. I don't have
Yeah,
the time
will
for that.
me. No, I'm just playing.
I really don't have the time for it. I don't. Like, I enjoy the people that I know.
Wait,
and they
wait,
happen
wait,
to
wait.
be on Xbox.
Wait a minute.
You know
Is
what
this
I mean?
is this another topic or is this a sign out?
Yeah.
Well, no,
Oh.
I'm just saying that a lot of people call out things that other people don't do, and it's annoying. But it's at Crispy Bomb on Twitter. I have July 4th coming up, so as a meat cutter, I don't know what podcast I'm going to be on. I will be on Retro Renegades. I know that on Tuesday night. But
Nice.
next week, I have no idea. It depends on my work schedule.
Dude, so you can call Supersonic a passive-aggressive crap gamer and let him know I said that, okay?
All right, I will quote you on it.
Nice. I appreciate that, bro. But yeah, no, I forgot next week,
Yeah.
Saturday goes on 4th of July, so I have to talk to the crew and see what they're doing and everything like that.
If I can do it, I will. But I just... It's a lot of,
it is
retail,
a big time for people to hang out with their families and get that barbecue going, baby. Oh yeah. So Sir X-Man, shout out to you for that super chat. I don't know what we're doing for 4th of July, but we might possibly change the day or something like that the show is going to go on. Thank you for that heads up, brother. And thank you to the friendly neighborhood Blue Shell hitting up that super chat. He said, for the bot among you and his friends. Too bad I was late. Yo, brother, the thing about YouTube is you can go back and catch up on it. It's gonna process, and then you're gonna get the whole show, and you can watch it and listen to it whenever you want, bro. That's what I love about being on YouTube, man. So shout out to you. Thank you for supporting the show, bro.
Can I do something real quick? Shout out to the content creator feature on ACS_Husks channel. And we went 2.5 hours, just two of us. So
yo, Husk is an awesome dude, man. I'm glad like you did a project with him. He is a really cool guy, man.
I was the last minute selection. I was the gun in his sock, as you like to say.
The gun in his sock. Oh, hey, I like that, and I think when it comes down to it, man, it's what happened when you kind of came out of nowhere on CCC. I'm pretty sure you definitely impressed him on kind of like
reunion show.
Huh?
I said reunion show. Tell Mel.
Oh damn. Well, I'll talk to her about that, man. But yo, Predator, I hope you're not upset that I didn't go to you first. And I love how you put us on blast the last time and said how we hang out in the hangout for like an hour afterwards, man. But this is your spotlight. This is your plugs, man. Let people know where they can go to talk games with you, brother. And if you have any plans, now is the time to share it, yeah.
No plans coming up. Just I'll be here next week, and I'll catch y'all the next podcast on Saturday, and I'll make sure I change my avatar to something relative for the week. For you guys
maybe a hot dog or something. Yeah.
Dude, I love how you're topical with that, man. Beautiful, brother. And of course, you don't call him late. He's always on time to chime in on the important things. My brother, K Mega, your triumphant return to YouTube, and I was there for at least an hour of it, man. It was a lot of fun. Let people know about your YouTube channel. Let them know about GRG, which I got to go on last night, man. I did a little mini marathon, but let people know about that podcast as well, with the second best gameplay on YouTube, I might add.
Oh, that's your podcast.
No, brother. Yeah. But let people know, bro.
Oh yeah, man. Check out the GRG podcast. I'm out of YouTube jail. We had our very first live show in I think it was supposed to be 90 days, but it felt like 4 months. But it was good to be back. I can't lie. You know, even though I got
Yeah, they're
this
called
love-hate
super
for
chats,
YouTube.
brother. They're called super
Yeah,
chats.
they're called super chats, not embers. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, no, we also streamed on Twitch as well. I'm going to start streaming on Twitch, and I might try to dabble between Twitch and YouTube, just kind of see what's going on. I will most likely primarily will be on Twitch for my streaming, so come and check me out there. As K Mega 405. And also we got merch. So if anybody's
Oh.
interested for some GRG gear, check it out. The link is in the description on GRG. Well, on my channel, K Mega 405 on YouTube, and then it's also in Twitch as well. So come check that out. And then lastly, man, yeah, check out the Devin the Gamer. We're definitely back stronger than ever right now. We'll have a show this coming up week. And here you'll see me next week whenever we'll do it, if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday or whatever. I know we'll sit here and we'll talk about it or whatever. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
good to be back.
Yeah, no doubt, brother. And on that note, there's just a couple shout outs I would like to do. First off, shout out to Oh Snap, it's Mel. It's her birthday today, so if you haven't done it yet, go out there on Twitter and wish her a happy birthday. Our brother Supernova, he was a guest here on the show. He was the headlining guest with, we had a 2-guest lineup with some guy Mooch as well. But Supernova, he was in the hospital for almost 2 weeks. I'm not going to put out kind of like details as to what's going on. Like, I'm not going to put out his personal stuff, but he is back home recuperating. So shout out to my brother Supernova. Shout out to Dreadpool, which he was a part of an interview today on Stubbs Gaming on that YouTube channel. Shout out to Stubbs as well. And I got to say, I was listening to the show before we went live today, and it was an absolutely awesome show. I definitely suggest you guys go check that out as well. But other than that, shout out to the chat again. Shout out to all you guys for hanging out with us, for all the continued support. Thank you so much. If you haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up button. Let people know where you spent your Saturday night. But again, gamers got a game. We got to get the controllers in our hands. I actually got to finish eating dinner. I only ate mashed potatoes. There is ribs downstairs, and my mouth is watering right now. But I'm going to end the show the way I do every week. We will see you next Saturday or Sunday or Friday. We will see you again soon on the next podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Later. July 4th, motherfuckers.
Yeah.